Bah. Well, hey there. What's going on, folks? You might have heard me tap it on my steering wheel because it's truck stream. You know, we got the wheel here. We got my little wheel here, so I can operate the motor vehicle. How are we today? What's going on, Unmatched and Eve and Pedro? What's going on, folks? How are you? What have you been up to? Hi, Ramu. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way in, guys, by the way. I really appreciate that. I'm glad to hear you've been up to things, Eve. That's lit. Or I. Is it I? I guess that's more like that's a yen symbol, so I'm gonna go with I. Hey, what's up? Oh the Fox or Zero the Fox? You guys need easier to read names for real. Well, it is another Saturday, and as you know, Saturdays are the streamer witching hours, and we just I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna play some video games. You guys ever heard of video games? You guys know anything about video games? It's like this thing that they did in the 80s that no one really does anymore. But there's some enthusiasts like me out there that sometimes still play them. It's kind of wacky, I know. I'm a little weird. That's my cat Luna. She's being chilling. I was thinking about looking into buying a new webcam so I can have a Luna cam for certain streams. Not all streams, but certain streams. Your hair looks great today. Thank you, River. That's very sweet. I touched up some of my curls because they weren't staying together the way that I wanted. What day is it in America? March 9th, 2024 at approximately 11:35 a.m. Hi, Aether. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Been making plans for a manga I'm going to do. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. Doing a little pre-planning, doing a little pre-work. That's cool. That's good. Sounds lit. Sounds fun. Anyway, we're doing a truck stream today, which means that basically not a lot's about to change in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to start up the game and I'm going to start trucking and I'm just going to chat while we drive, and it's going to be lit. And I actually already started the game. I faked you out by saying I was going to start the game, but I already did, actually. Happy birthday, Pedro. Congratulations on the big 17. That's pretty exciting. I'm happy for you. You are almost a legal adult, but maybe a legal adult in your home country. I don't know where you're from, and I don't know the laws there. Some places have it different. Realistically speaking, none of us are truly adults. We're all just trying our best to make it in a world that doesn't want us. You feel me? We're all trying to make it our best in a world that is being destroyed by our presence. Humans are a plague. Sorry, I don't want to bring down your birthday celebrations. I was just thinking about some stuff. Now let's see. I think there's a spot that I could repair my truck here. Oh, I'm sitting on it. I have a little damage on my truck. Because I'm a good truck driver. That's why. I'm so good that I drive my truck really hard by accident. Service recommendations. Why doesn't it want to fix that? Just fix it. I've got plenty of money. I'm from Portugal. We also become legally adults at 18. Okay, that sounds about right. Good. Fantastic. Hey, Bill. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for validating my feelings about KNY. No problem, Mouthbone. Anything for you, brother. I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching the video. Let's see what's on the freight market in Portland, Oregon, which is a place that I have been. We could go to Ogden, Utah, and make a cool 77K. That sounds like a nice little job to do. Could also take household appliances to Price, Utah. I think this one's a lot more valuable because it's a tank of chemicals of sorts. That's an oversized load. I don't really want to do that. Why am I only getting audio? There we go. My headphones aren't fully plugged in. Let's do this. The LPG. We're gonna travel. We're gonna take some methylamine across the country. In truck stream fashion, I will confess my sins. I've been playing and enjoying Fallout 76. Man, Bill is playing and enjoying Fallout 76 while World of Warcraft Season of Discovery is just sitting there waiting. God damn. Why? What made you decide to check it out again? And why are you enjoying it? Tell us about it. What US state are you from? I grew up in New Hampshire. I spent most of my life in Michigan, and right now I live in Oregon. So depending on what you mean by where I'm from, it's one of those. I liked living in New Hampshire when I was a kid, but I probably wouldn't like it as an adult because it was very cold. I hated living in Michigan. It was cold and boring. And I love living in Oregon. Oregon's a wonderful place to live. Hey, Infuthron, welcome back. Nice to have you. How are you? What have you been up to? Tell us about what's going on. I want to move to Norway when I'm an adult. That sounds nice. I mean, it'd be cold, but they have a really nice standard of living. I mean, where were you born? Oh, well, that's actually a different answer. I was actually born in Texas, but I usually don't list that in the options of places that I'm from because I only lived there for 2 years, like when I was 0 to 2, and you know, I don't remember it. So I was born in Texas, lived there till I was 2, moved to New Hampshire, lived there until I was 10, lived in Michigan until I was 23, and then I've been in Oregon for the past 2 years. And Oregon has been my favorite out of them, all of them. One of my buddies plays it, and we play eclectic games like Dungeons and Dragons online together. I'm gonna get a ticket if a cop sees me doing this, but whatever. So I gave it another honest shake, and getting into the loop after the intro to the game improves. I mean, I've heard they've made a lot of improvements to the game, but I don't know. I just feel like there's whatever. What am I to judge? I've put 70 hours into a truck driving simulator. I have no room to judge anybody's gaming choices. What am I talking about? Shut the fuck up, Mac. All I know is that I played Fallout 76 for like 2 hours on a 24-hour stream, and it was not enjoyable. Also get to RP as a cowboy because I found a killer VATS revolver. Okay, nice. Doing well, thanks. Doing some hell diving. That sounds fun. I haven't done any hell divers in a couple days. Is anybody else having the thing where you aren't getting rewards for major orders? I looked it up, and it seems like a lot of people are having this issue, and the devs have already stated, like through the Discord, that they're gonna fix it. But like, I was really looking forward to some major order rewards, and I still haven't gotten them. But we did unlock Exos, which is pretty lit. I'm not at a level that I can use them yet. But, hey, we out here. We can call you Cowboy Mac. You absolutely can. I think that's cool as shit, so yes, you can call me a cowboy if you want. I forgot to tab in. I made it. Hello. Hi, Unmatched. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Love the cold. I hate the cold, Aether. I mean, you know, I'm happy for the people that like it, but I personally hate it, so I wouldn't want to live in Norway. But definitely there are worse cold places to live. You could live in fucking Siberia. Just woke up and I've been putting off work. I'm having so much fun. You have a very positive attitude about it. I like that. That's nice. I've also been kind of unproductive this week. I've been a little bit lacking in motivation, but I've also just been super obsessed with puzzle games lately. I finished The Room 3 and 4, and in the middle of a game called Agent A, a Puzzle in Disguise, and I've just been playing a fuck ton of puzzle games, dude. Having a good time. Also, I installed Sudoku on my phone, which was a mistake because I'm playing the shit out of Sudoku. So, whoops. Helldivers is very good. Helldivers is a lot of fun. I would recommend it, Pedro. It's a great game. Helldivers 2. Installing Sudoku instead of Mahjong, SMH. Shut up! Stop being a shill for the Mahjong. I already have it coming from one angle. I don't need it coming from two. You played the I Have No Mouth, I Must Scream game. No, I have not. It's on my wish list. I just haven't bought it yet. Everyone gets the mech for free for a bit. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. I guess I should play and use it. Remember, if that water wasn't a thing, you would be dead, so you should drink it. I have a glass right here. I have a glass. Cried 3 times reading Kaiju and Ready. It's such a good series. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun one. GPS tracking. I actually don't think I've done a GPS tracking job. I don't know what the significance of that is. I assume if I deviate off the path, I'll get fucking aerial striked by a 500 kilogram bomb. I mean, that just seems like a reasonable expectation. Order like 15 manga. I know what I'm doing, Frank. All right, tell us what you picked up. I'm curious. I'd love to hear it. Anyway, new manga you're interested to read. I'm currently reading through Demons of the Shadow Realm, which is the manga that the author of Fullmetal Alchemist started working on a couple years ago. And I've been really enjoying it. It's nice. I also started reading the manga of Fullmetal Alchemist because I've never read the manga. I've just watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood like a dozen times. So I decided to read the manga and you know, see how the experience stacks up. You know, the nice part is you get those chapters that that Brotherhood kind of cut out, while also not having the deviation that the original anime ended up going for. Whoa! That was... I almost ran into that goddamn Jeep, but it would have been kind of funny if I had. Like I just ran into the side of this fence. Let me just fix that problem. I might be stuck. I got my truck stuck. Okay. This is not a problem. This is all fine. God damn it. There's nothing stopping me from reading Hunter x Hunter, I just haven't. Demons of the Shadow Realm, first time hearing it. Yeah, so there's not a lot of people talking about it, which is surprising, right? Given how popular Fullmetal Alchemist is. You think that people would be all over a series by the same author, but no. There's not a lot of discussion about it, and you know, it's not like it's a perfect series, but it is really enjoyable, so I've been enjoying reading that, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. God damn it. Guys, I promise I'm not going to be just running into stuff the entire stream. I don't know what the problem is right now. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why this is happening. I'm going to assume that there's something wrong with my truck and that it has nothing to do with me. Yeah, guys, remember to like the stream or I'll kill you. I will kill you. I will murder you in cold blood. You may think that's a minor offense to have such an overreaction to, but I disagree. Is Matt gonna make his own manga? No. I mean, I guess I wouldn't rule out the possibility entirely. It'd be really cool to have the opportunity to, like, work on a graphic novel someday. But I've never done any creative writing, so it would take a lot of practice before I would feel confident publishing anything. And I don't do any creative writing because I never have ideas for stories, so, you know. Mac, what are you doing with my 10 bucks? Pissing and shitting and coming. Have any of you guys heard of green blood? It was a concept recently introduced in One Piece. I don't know what else you're talking about. You should definitely check it out. The character creator is actually phenomenal. What are we talking about? I have no mouth, but I must scream? No, you're talking to Bill. I thought you were talking to me. 144p max stream is something. Every time people say something like that, I'm like, fuck, did I mess up the settings? But slow down the truck and try again. I personally put it at 144p. Why? No, I've not heard of the manga Green Blood. All right, this is a 12-hour job. How many hours do I have to complete it? 33 hours. We'll have time to stop and sleep at some point. Driving through Portland. There are a lot of bridges that run through the city in Portland, and you can like look out over the entire skyline, and it's very, very beautiful. It doesn't look quite like this, but I appreciate the attempt to recreate that experience in American Truck Sim. The American Truck Sim team is really cool about like going to the locations of the DLC they're making and trying to replicate those experiences. Do you like driving simulators? I fucking love driving simulators! I've played American Truck Stream for like 80 hours. I've played Euro Truck Stream only like 20 hours. I like Euro Truck Stream too, but I like American Truck Sim better. Mahjong Stream? No. I was talking earlier about how I started playing a lot of Sudoku recently, and Bill said I should be playing Mahjong instead. So congratulations, you got him to fucking shill the Mahjong too. Sudoku stream. Oh my god, that would be awful. Chat would be so annoying during a Sudoku stream. Can you imagine? Ugh. When will you play My Summer Car? It's like this game with more pain. Probably never. I have a giant pile of games that I want to stream. And I probably should have played like Cyberpunk today so I could like keep beating that DLC and eventually, you know, beat it and move on. But I didn't feel like it. I just wanted to play, I just wanted to play puzzle games, and I can't really do puzzle game streams because chat gets super backseaty. So American Truck Sim it became. Stream Sudoku for April 1st. Talk it up like the new big puzzle game. Okay, that's kind of funny. You can't. I already read the messages. It's too late to retract them. Food hot take: pizza that's a few hours old is better than fresh pizza. Wow, that's an awful take. I mean, I know that some people like cold pizza. It doesn't personally appeal to me, but like, Jesus Christ, what a stupid thing to say, Skippy. You should be ashamed of yourself. This man has just a lot of L food takes, and a few good ones too, but a lot of L food takes. Fresh pizza is unbeatable, but sometimes cold pizza is better than reheated pizza. I mean, you know, I'm like whatever on that. Cold pizza isn't personally my thing, but if you like it, then sure, I'm sure that is, but a thing. But the cheese forms better. I don't want the cheese to form. I want it to be stretchy and melty. Shut the fuck up, Skippy. I don't want the cheese to be a hardened fucking thing on top of my za, bro. As an Italian, I can confirm that Skippy is objectively incorrect. You got fucked by the Italian, Skippy. Talking about going to a pizza place and they have the pies under the heat lamp. That's the best pizza. I disagree. Some heat lamp pizza's good, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing beats the fresh out the oven, my dude. I'm gonna order my pizza a couple hours in advance so the cheese has time to form. Oh my god, Skippy's starting a Italians versus Americans war in the comments, in the chat. Fucking... Alright, I think we can just go around this. Because we should be able to get right back onto the exit, assuming it is... right back onto the highway, assuming it isn't blocked. which is good because I'm getting GPS tracked right now, and I don't really know the significance of that. I just assume that I'll get killed if I stray off the path too far. There's like a million Mr. Beasts. There's just like there's so many people trying to steal his format. There has to be an Italian Mr. Beast. There's no way there isn't an Italian Mr. Beast. There's a fucking Moldovan Mr. Beast out there somewhere. Opinions on croissants? I like them. Starting a war over pizza is crazy. I mean, war been started for stupider reasons. Yeah, I mean, we in this chat have no enemies. Okay, there's no good wars. Let's just be real about that. Only one Mr. Beast has Crohn's disease, though. You know, somehow I doubt that. There has to be at least one Mr. Beast clone that is like, hey, I have Crohn's too. I'm the real Mr. Beast clone. I'm the original Mr. Beast clone. They cloned me so good, I got Crohn's. Looking up Italian Mr. Beast gets tons of articles of a dude who nearly killed someone. Oh, Italian Mr. Beast has some wild videos, man. Translate this to Italian. Welcome everybody. Today I'm going to be shooting people with a gun, and if they survive, they get 100 Italian dollars. He did kill someone. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Italian Mr. Beast going crazy. Someone give us a recap of... I don't want to pull into the way station. Fuck off. Ugh. Always wasting my time with your fucking way stations. Why don't you weigh your mother and get her on a better diet, you shit fucker? He killed a 5-year-old with a Lamborghini? What the hell is Italy doing to Mr. Beast? I gotta get the full story. How did this happen? What was the challenge? Today, I'm gonna be speeding my Lamborghini at a 5-year-old, and if he dodges it, he gets to keep it. But if he doesn't, I'm great, Callum. How are you doing today? I'm finding out all kinds of information about Italian Mr. Beast. Today, put 100 random people in my basement and Survivor gets freedom. Italian Mr. Beast goes hard. The kid probably took a slice of his za, dude. Like, he probably saw the kid, like, snap some pasta noodles and just, he went crazy and started revving his engine. Italians don't take that shit lightly, dude. Hot take, Captain Mack has never said anything correct in his life. I've never said anything correct? Gwendolyn is a cool person. Get fucked, idiot. There was even an Italian Mr. Beast who faked giving a homeless grandma a home. He got arrested. Italian Mr. Beasts are just unethical, dude. They started a challenge where the 4 of them would take turns driving the rented Lamborghini for 50 hours? Is that like no breaks? Or do they just like have it over the course of 50 hours and they can drive it if they want to? How does it feel to stream on Matt Pat's last game theory video? I didn't know that was happening. Another food hot take: people who say they can't tell the difference between name brands and store brands are coping hard. I think it depends on the thing. It definitely depends on the thing. And it depends on the store brand. There are store brands that are better than other store brands. There are definitely certain items that are like a huge difference in quality, but others that are very minimal. Apparently there weren't brakes on it if they killed a 5-year-old. Sad that MatPat is leaving. I'm just glad the dude's getting a retirement. And there's not a lot of people who do the YouTube game that get to retire peacefully. You either fall off or get canceled or kill a 5-year-old before you get a chance to. I'm personally very happy for any YouTubers that get a chance to just be like, okay, I'm gonna retire now. Happy for my boy Jerma. Happy for MatPat. I probably won't get the chance to retire. I'll probably fall off. I don't even know if I'll get a chance to do it full time before I fall off. We'll see what happens, bro. PewDiePie, yeah, PewDiePie is a great example. A lot of his retirement videos have been really nice too, because it's just like there's no motivation to get views behind them, so he's just making like the videos that he's like interested in. I personally really enjoy the like Japan living vlogs, but maybe that's because I'm a massive weeb. So what happened that caused the 5-year-old's death? Like, was someone just tired and slammed the Lamborghini into a tree with a child in the backseat? Also, really Italian Mr. Beast, that has to be a Lamborghini challenge. You Italian fuckers. He just already reaches hell, he doesn't need more money. Isn't that what we all want? Just to be set for, like, shit, man. If I made enough money off of YouTube that I knew I didn't have to worry about the views anymore, I'd just start making whatever the fuck I want. You guys would get some weird stuff. You get a 4-hour-long video of me pruning my bonsai. That's what you get, asshole. One of the drivers hit another car, seriously injuring the mother and daughter and killing the son. Oh no, they weren't even involved in the challenge. They were just innocent bystanders. Ah, that's even worse. Is it worse? It feels worse to me. I always feel awful for people who just wrong place, wrong time. They did nothing wrong. Like there was no parent that made the mistake of putting a child in the car of Italian Mr. Beast. It was just someone who happened to be on the road that day. That fucking blows, dude. Ugh. Italian Mr. Beast. What's your problem, man? Go eat some bolognese and turn your channel off, please. Every Italian is actively trying to kill someone when driving speed limits are not a thing there. That sounds kind of lit, though. I like raw onion over cooked onion. What is wrong with you? Well, okay, never mind. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to go in on you for that because it depends on the context. If it's like a sandwich, then I prefer like a nice raw sliced onions. But if it's a cooked dish, I want them cooked. I don't want fucking raw ass onions in my shit. Depends on the situation. They're different flavors, they're different textures. There's nothing wrong with that at all. My immediate reaction was thinking about you like chomping into a raw onion like a goddamn apple. My hot take is that onion rings are not good. People love them. People always talk about how you know, the famous Germa clip freaking out over an onion ring. I don't like onion rings, man. Give me some normal ass fries, bro. I just don't like onions soft. It's inherently wrong. I don't like onions soft if they're like big pieces, which is why whenever I make a dish that involves like cooking onions, I usually slice them a lot smaller than the recipe calls for, because I don't like the huge chunks of like floppy translucent onion. But if you make them nice and small, they're not even noticeable. Onion rings too. I had a soft, cushy onion in my ring and it just wasn't nice. It's supposed to crunch. Onion rings are mid as fuck. Okay, I'm glad there's people who agree with me on this, because it's like everyone in my family fucking loves onion rings, and I'm like, no, get me fries. A guy I know bites into onions like apples. Green did that when we were kids. I mean, not regularly, but it was something she would do. Favorite fast food chain, Mac? Steak and Shake. We don't have Steak and Shakes in the Pacific Northwest, which is like the one thing I don't like about it. I really miss Steak and Shake. I had a Steak and Shake like 5 minutes from where I lived in Michigan, and it was magnificent. I would go there all the goddamn time. Ugh. I miss Steak and Shake. In terms of fast food that I have available here in Oregon, probably Taco Bell. Speaking of me, I've been trying out handmade noodles lately. That sounds nice. I've been wanting for years to do a cooking stream where I make some handmade noodles. I really want to try that and get made fun of by chat for not knowing how to do something I've never done before. It's actually so much easier than I thought. It doesn't look super hard. Like, I've watched plenty of videos on how to do it. It doesn't look that hard. I mean, shit. Generations of people have learned how to do it. It can't be that tough. Can you do a stick shift in this game? You could, yeah, if you get like the right kind of driving apparatus. Mine has gear shifters on the sides of the wheels, but I don't have it. I have it on automatic because I don't know how to drive stick, so. Try doing Spätzle, weird German deformed noodles. No! I would love to watch you do a bonsai tree. I would love to do that video, but it wouldn't appeal to the algorithm. It would appeal to you guys, but not the algorithm. I'm a pretty good cook in general, I think. I'm not, like, amazing. But as long as I know, as long as I've done it before, usually, like, my first attempt at a recipe doesn't tend to go super well. But, like, once I've figured out how to do it, like, I make really good burgers. Because I've done that a lot, and I've, like, figured out my recipe. I think I make burgers that are better than a lot of restaurants. Mac makes a mean taco. I do make a pretty good taco. Although that is not very difficult. When's the next video? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Of course you're a good cook. Look at your videos. Thank you, Pedro. That's very sweet. What's happening? I'm driving a truck, Wubblins. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way in. I appreciate that. When I come to visit, will you make me a plant burger? I'll have to do some test plant burgers before you do, because I don't know how to, I haven't tried that before, but if you want. I mean, I guess I could just buy some plant burgers and put my spices on them. Eggs suck. Thank you for saying that, Pedro. That's my food hot take. I don't like eggs that much. I love eggs in things. I love a cake or a cookie, but scrambled eggs, hard-boiled eggs over easy eggs, eggs on a sandwich, no thanks. Egg taste is, like, not pleasant. I don't want eggs. Pass, bro. Impossible just beyond work, just like ground beef. Okay, I can make some patties out of that then. Let's go, another egg hater. Literally love your videos. Well, thank you, B. That's so sweet. Welcome to the stream. How are you today? Thank you so much for watching them. That's very kind. I guess that's something on it. I don't know. Yeah, like it needs to not be the main dish. Like I can't do like an egg breakfast. I had French style scrambled eggs the other day, like with the tiny curd and tons of butter. They're really good. Eggs are the best breakfast food? Fuck off, Skippy. No, they are not. No, they are not. They're so mid. Like, they're serviceable. If you have no other options, then sure, I'll take some eggs. But no, thanks. There's so many better options. Remember the time I ate an omelet and I was about to throw up? Doing good. I'm watching you while I'm on my lunch break. That sounds nice. What do you do for work? I hope you're having a good day at work. I miss you. I miss you too, winning Sopranos. How are you today? Welcome to the stream. Hot take, all breakfast food is mid? No, that's not true. No. Eggs are mid. Eggs are mid, bro. But pancakes and waffles, some coffee cake, all the unhealthy shit. That's where it's at. That's the good stuff. I love me a pancake breakfast. Biscuits and gravy, my dude? Y'all ever heard of biscuits and gravy? Biscuits and gravy are mid. Screw you, Remy. You don't even know what you're talking about. Hot take, waffles better than pancakes? That's not even a hot take. That's just true. Mac, I like Espanol linguist because I want to be a gangster. That's okay. I don't know what to say about that. When I think of breakfast, it's eggs. Eggs are mid. They're in the middle. They're in the middle. Hang on. They're in the middle. They have never done me wrong, but they don't excel expectations. Yeah, they're just like, this is food. This is sustenance. It's not like something you look forward to eating. I'm not like, fuck, dude, I can't wait to eat a goddamn egg. The best breakfast food is yesterday's lunch. Interesting take. I mean, dude, like, some granola with yogurt is way better than eggs in the morning. There's so many options with the granola too. There's all kinds of different varieties. There's so many different options. Egg adds a lot to a breakfast sandwich. I mean, that depends if you like breakfast sandwiches. I don't want a breakfast sandwich because they taste way too eggy. Again, it's like, it's a fine option, but it's not my preference. What do you mean, ew, granola? You can't say ew, granola. There's so many different kinds of granola. You haven't had good granola. You know what you're talking about. Granola's weird. Guys, it's like oats and like bits of chocolate and chia seed or little bits of dried fruit. What granola are you guys eating that you don't like granola? Granola's delicious. Okay, I'm mad now. Okay? You could get some almonds or macadamias in there. There's so many good options for granola. Granola slaps so hard on God. Thank you, Pedro. Granola's a bad imitation of muesli. Granola is basically the same thing as muesli. You keep trying to put muesli into like its own category where it's not cereal, it's not granola, it's both of those things. It can be both of those things. Mac be like, I like things with flavor like pancakes and granola. Are you trying to say that those things don't have flavor? Because if you're trying to say that, then you're having bad versions of those things. If you get a good granola, it's a little bit sweet. It's got great nutritional value. You make a good pancake, it's sweet, it's fluffy. You don't even need syrup if you make a really good pancake. Although the syrup does, you know, I'm gonna add syrup anyway. Trail mix packed together with sugar. What's not to like about granola? I mean, there's plenty of healthy granolas. You don't need... I get that. I don't know what I'm having. It's gross. Are we talking about the granola? Because I haven't had good granola, dude. I'm eating dirt. Yeah, dude. You need to like find some good granola. You know, there's a ton of different varieties of granola. If you're sitting there thinking that granola is bad or that granola is mid, you're probably having bad granola. Okay, Mac, eat pancakes without syrup or butter. I have. I have done that. You just have to make good pancakes, bro. Granola is so good for real, but with cereal and it's unmatched. Put it with cereal and it's unmatched. Granola's traditional value is fucking overrated. I don't care. I don't care. Sugar can be healthy. Usually you see honey or maple syrup to pack the grains. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Granola is one of the things that I buy for my job. And I got a bunch of samples because we're considering bringing on more. And they had this fantastic cranberry orange granola. It had oats, little dried cranberries, almonds, and it was mixed with like orange blossom honey. Oh my God, it's so fucking good. I told our product management team, I was like, this, if we had like 5 samples, I was like, this is the one you should bring on. Like, that's my 2 cents. Bring this one on. It's fucking delicious. We'll sell buckets of it. I've had good pancakes that I've eaten by itself. It's nice. Yeah, Skippy just doesn't know how to make good pancakes, my dude. Bread and butter with milk for breakfast. I'm assuming you're like spreading the butter on the bread. That's not bad. Grandma likes to eat Raisin Bran. I don't think I've really eaten. I've had Raisin Bran before, but see, the problem is I'm like a huge raisin snob. I used to think for years that I didn't like raisins, but then I started working as a dried fruit buyer, and the thing I figured out is that it's not that I don't like raisins, it's just that I don't like crap raisins. I like some nice like organic flame raisins or organic Thompson raisins, but you give me that like sun-made shit, I don't want that. I don't want that. No thanks. You don't know how to make good eggs? Does that mean that nobody else knows how to make good eggs either? Because I've had plenty of eggs from plenty of places that were not my own, and they still didn't taste that great. They were like, okay, it's like, all right, this is sustenance, this is food. Because a lot of times when you go out for breakfast, there are not a lot of options. You know, eggs are like half of the things that people make in America for breakfast. So sometimes I have to suck it up and eat some eggs, and it's never like something that I'm like, oh, that was fantastic. I can't wait to have more of that. I'll freely admit that I don't know how to make good eggs because I don't want to eat eggs. I haven't practiced it, but no one else does either, apparently. I say the same thing about pancakes. Man, Skippy, I will admit a lot of diners do not make great pancakes because a ton of them use just a mix, you know, and it's like people are pretty easy to please with pancakes because they do have like syrups, but you can make great pancakes that taste fine plain. So I thought the title wasn't a joke. How you doing, Subzers? Welcome to the stream. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked the stream, get in there and finger that like button. I mean, if you can make good pancakes eat by itself, you can make good eggs too. I'm sure I could make good eggs if I tried to make good eggs, but for me, even good eggs taste mid, so I'm just, no thanks. I love this game. I play it drunk always. It's good practice for when you do it in real life. I don't know if anyone else here is familiar with Johnny Harris, but he has a great couple videos on America versus international breakfast that are really fun to watch. I think that we here in America do breakfast pretty well. Like, I think there's nothing that really matches an American diner experience. Like, we definitely put a lot of love into our breakfasts, but there's plenty of other places around the world that do really good breakfast too. I hate pancakes. They're just immediate for you to eat syrup and butter. My God, Skippy, you're coming out here being like, hot take this, hot take that, and they're not that hot. That is a hot take, and one you should be ashamed about. You disgust me. What an awful thing to say about pancakes. Apologize to pancakes. You haven't mentioned waffles in this whole discussion. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on waffles, you scumbag. And by the way, French toast, it's just bread soaked in egg and fried. That's no thanks, bro. French toast is mid. Do you know the new YouTube feature where when you say like and subscribe videos, it highlights the respective like and subscribe buttons? I do know about that. I've seen that. It's really cool. I don't know if it does it in streams or not. I don't know if it analyzes that well enough. He mostly focuses on the sugary breakfast that we have, like cereal and donuts, versus some of the other savory breakfasts from the Middle East, or for example. I mean, that's kind of unfair, I feel like. We have plenty of good savory options, I feel like. You haven't had good French toast. Maybe not. I don't like French toast, so I never order it. I haven't tried a ton of good French toasts. Skippy is a Twitter blue checkmark. It's fucked up, dude. Yeah, we've already talked about how waffles are better than pancakes. We've already had that discussion. I feel like the flavor of waffles is better on top of holding the syrup better, because it has like the little divots and stuff. They're harder to make. Well, they're not harder to make. I just don't want to have a waffle maker in my house because they take up a lot of room. But if I had the choice between making waffles or pancakes every day, I'd choose waffles. You ever had Belgian waffles? Probably. Probably at some point. I don't know. I can't think of a time that I did. Opinions on maple syrup specifically? I really like maple syrup. I grew up in New Hampshire, which is right next to Vermont, which is like the maple syrup capital of the world. Behind maybe Canada. So I'm a little picky about maple syrup. Not really, actually. I'm totally fine with Miss Buttersworth, but I really like a really good maple syrup. Good French toast starts with super dry bread that soaks up the custardy egg mixture that lets you get a nice contrast between a creamy, yummy inside and crispy, toasty outside. That doesn't sound magnificent. Vermont maple syrup fucks. I'm sorry, I thought that said sucks when I read it in my periphery, and I was about to go off on your ass, but you're right. It does. Vermont maple syrup is lit. Cicely drops another person to the Hell Divers Corps. Nice, that's lit. For democracy, baby. Crepes, solo, both pancakes and waffles. I haven't really had crepes. Like, I've just never had a good opportunity to try crepes. I honestly can't think of a time that I've had crepes. I'd love to try crepes, because they sound fantastic. I've just never tried them. Max is about to go apeshit. Yeah, I was about to go off. I may hate the French, but good French toast is God tier. I mean, knowing the French, they probably didn't invent it. It's probably just a nickname. I can only have syrup in extremely small amounts. Yeah, I mean, like, this goes back to our discussion about good versus mid pancakes. Like, if you make really good pancakes, you're gonna want to use syrup pretty sparingly. Like, enough to enhance the flavor, but not enough to overpower it. Like, you're gonna want to maintain that pancake flavor. No, Vermont is my neighbor, and that's the only good thing they have. They got Vermont. They got maple syrup and racism. It's about the two things they're known for. Crepes are alright, but they're hands down the goat of holding fruit. That's a really funny sentence. A lot of vegan, vegetarian recipes use maple syrup in savory applications, and it's really good. Like, I never make stir fry without maple syrup nowadays. Oh, that's interesting. The original dish is from the French pain perdu, meaning lost bread. Interesting. What do you think of the British? Fuck British food. I mean, yes, those two things you said. British food is where cuisine goes to die. Like, it just, I've said this before, and it's kind of a bad joke, but at the same time, it's really funny. It's amazing to me that, like, Britain colonized the shit out of India and decided that they didn't need any of their spices. They decided they didn't need any spices at all. It's incredible, really. Like, how do you colonize India and not take on spices as part of your culinary world. I need to sleep. Hey, there's a sleep spot right here. Excellent. Let's take a little nap. You say that, but their national dish is tikka masala. Tikka masala is fucking lit. And they stole it from the Indians. But then you have an English breakfast, which is a bunch of slop on a plate. It's incredible. What a beautiful day. I think it was actually invented by an immigrant, but it certainly does not have English roots. Full English breakfast is delicious. It's a damn good meal. Whoa. Assume you never had an English breakfast, Mac. I've had it. I've had it. It's not like it's like the worst shit ever, but man, it's not my preference. What the hell happened to that truck? Is it a fucking nuke land on it? What is this, Truck Simulator 3000? It's American Truck Simulator, Lego dude. How are you today? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking it on your way in. I appreciate that. It's not that imaginative or difficult, but it's hella umami bomb after umami bomb. I can't say I agree. Like it's all right. It's sustenance. Latin American breakfast is the best. What are they eating for breakfast in Latin America? I ate maple baked beans almost every day for the first decade of my life, so I've been conditioned to dislike flavor. Are you British? That sounds like a British living situation. That sounds like British mom feeding her child. I never actually had like British baked beans though, so I can't really pass judgment on that. I've never tried those before. Well, except for when I had a... They're part of they're part of an English breakfast, aren't they? Never mind, I've had them. I guess I just forgot what they taste like. In my defense, it's been years since I've had that. My grandma went to the UK and she said it was the worst cuisine she ever had. I think that's a normal experience to have. What are some underrated cuisines? My vote goes turkey. I don't think I've had Turkish food before. We eat refried beans, fried plantains, eggs, bread or tortilla, sour cream, avocados, bread or tortillas. I mean, it sounds fine. It sounds serviceable. Like a less acidic version of American baked beans. More acidic, less sweet. Interesting. Pupusas, so pupusas are something that we have not really imported to the U.S. that I think more people should experience. Let me look up real quick, just so I make sure I get the description of this right. Let me look up some pupusas for you guys, and tell you what about pupusas. I have this. There's a food cart outside where I work, and the lady who runs it is from El Salvador, and pupusas are like an El Salvadorian thing. So. Pupusa is a thick griddle cake or flatbread from El Salvador made with cornmeal or rice flour. It's usually stuffed with one or more ingredients, which may include cheese, chicharrones. The Spanish speaker is going to be mad at me for how to pronounce that. Squash or refried beans. It is typically accompanied by curtido, a spicy fermented cabbage slaw, and tomato salsa, and is traditionally eaten by hand. And the ones that they serve at that cart outside where I work, so put pork in it too. It's fantastic. Chicharrones pork. Okay, well there you go. I'm guessing it's some kind of spiced pork, if it has that specific name. I don't want to go to the goddamn way station. Do you have gas here? If you're gonna set up a way station out here, at least put gas here too. Boy needs gas soon. What the hell is Scrapple? Where's the way station? Okay, it's over here. Hey, Iki, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Thanks for liking on your way, I appreciate it. How you been? You mean you didn't have glorious kebabs? I've had kebabs before. Kebabs are great. Properly made sambusa would body that shit. I don't know what a sambusa is, so. Why no cat cam yet? Because I don't have a camera to do that with. And also because of what Green is saying. She's like always moving around. I can't count on her to stay in one spot for long enough for people to actually stay right there. And like if I set up a webcam that pointed at her bed, she stays there a good amount of the time. But it would have to be off otherwise, because she goes around everywhere. Play some D&D today, which was fun. That's nice, Iki. It is a terrible day to say I'm a vegetarian. I mean, there's lots of good vegetarian options. Vegetarian food is not like shit. But personally, I really enjoy meat-based foods. Cat cam more important. You guys can just say I'm ugly. It's okay. I get it. You can tell me I'm ugly and that you don't want to look at me. The only reason I even started using a webcam is because it was the meta at the time when I started, and now it's like I've accepted my fate. Sorry I'm late. I'm busy hooking up my Nintendo Switch to my TV for the first time. It feels so weird playing Switch games on my TV. No problem, Purple J. Welcome to the stream. I'm happy for you. I'm excited that you get to do some gaming. I also have a Balinese cat. She's 6 months old and she's a dickhead, but I love her. Oh, I love young cats. Put a PNG up of Luna and just leave it on your shoulder sling. I'll put a PNG up of Luna and tell you guys it's a cat cam, and you'll have no way of knowing because she'll just sit there unmoving for hours. You know, the cat cam would basically be a PNG because Luna doesn't move that much. Luna emoji. There was a Luna emote on the Twitch channel, but YouTube doesn't allow a ton of emotes. So I had to pick and choose the ones I would use, and no one uses them anyway, so. Alright, I have to look up Scrapple, apparently. What the hell is Scrapple? I'm gonna try not to let the fact that CB doesn't like it color my opinion of it. This looks fucking disgusting. Typically made of hog offal such as the head, heart, liver, and other trimmings, which are boiled with any bones attached to make a broth. Once cooked, bones and fat are removed, the meat is reserved, and dry cornmeal is boiled in the broth to make a mush. This looks fucking disgusting. This looks like meatloaf, but horrible. This looks awful. I don't want this. What the fuck? Meatloaf is already like super hit or miss. It's like it's hard to make a good meatloaf, but Scrapple, that looks awful. Looks like concrete. That's concrete, baby. I mean, need to educate some people here because so many people think that vegans and vegetarians are the same thing, Vegetarians don't eat, well, I mean, I don't know, I don't think anybody here thinks that vegans and vegetarians are the same thing. Where are we in the drive? Hard to tell when it's just roads and more roads. That's a good question. I don't know. Somewhere. Looks like we're in Idaho, crossing into Utah right now. And Utah is where our destination is. Ogden, Utah. Pennsylvanians swear by Scrapple. They should swear by fixing up Philadelphia, okay? Have you seen the state of that city? You think we can trust them with their food opinions? Is that compatible with the human GI system? I'm gonna take a shower real quick. If you leave in the next 20 minutes, I'll force you to eat nothing but processed cheese for the rest of your life. I mean, worse things could have happened, but I'll still be here. Don't worry. What is Taylor ham? Philadelphia is just a GTA mommy. Man, I should not have not eaten before this stream. I'm just gonna say, bro. Bye, Ramu. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. No, I didn't watch the Game Theory Goodbye video. I don't watch Game Theory in general, so like MatPat exiting the scene hasn't had like a huge impact on me. Max stopped reading before the worst part. What's the worst part? Man, the speed limit's 80. Why y'all you motherfuckers driving so slow? Are you afraid? When are you getting a Kathy Mitchell copper frying pan and joining her cult? I don't think I know the context of this. I don't think I've heard about this. What is this? Fuck off. I don't want to. I was at a weigh station 20 minutes ago. Just check in with them. They'll tell you how heavy I am. Have you read the comment Oda made about Toriyama's death? Yes, I did. It was very heartwarming, and also very sad. I love, by the way, like, people always have this, like, strange perception of, like, mangaka being enemies, where people are... I've seen people tell others that Oda is trying to beat out Naruto in every possible way, and it was like, what fucking evidence do you have of that? Oda and Kishimoto are good friends. They're not fucking enemies. They both make manga and they both like each other. And it's the same thing with Oda and Toriyama. Like, they were friends. And like, the people who want to make it about Dragon Ball versus One Piece, like both. They like each other. He died. You haven't heard about this, True Love? Yeah, Toriyama passed away. It's very sad to see. They're shonen rivals after all. We're the one that make them rivals. We as viewers are the ones that make them rivals. The mangaka are not making them rivals. The mangaka are not rivals with one another. They're both trying to make a good series. They tend to be very supportive of one another. It doesn't need to be a competition. They can both just make a series. It's a competitive market, sure, but the people at the top of that competitive market have no reason to be competitive with one another. They're all going to have an audience. I like how the mangakas fangirl over each other's work and story, but the fan base are at war, even at Civil War. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, Horikoshi, the author of My Hero Academia, big fan of One Piece, big fan of Oda. Oda himself talked really positively about My Hero Academia and about Horikoshi. He joked about how his kids love My Hero Academia, and he was like, and he was like, it might surpass One Piece one day. Back when it first started, no one thinks it's gonna happen anymore. But will you cry when One Piece is over? I'll probably be broken for months afterward. So, yeah, Toriyama passed away. It's very sad. Even if you aren't a Dragon Ball fan like me, I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan. I don't really care about it. But you have to respect, like, the impact that he has had on the industry and on us as a generation. I mean, shit, like, a big part of why anime has become such a big part of Western culture is because of the impact Dragon Ball had as, like, one of the first anime that was, like, televised to the US. I mean, shit, who my age that is into anime didn't watch Dragon Ball when they were kids? You know, it's not a common story to hear that someone didn't watch Dragon Ball when they were a kid from people my age. Said to Kubo. Kubo just seems to hate every other manga. He hates Naruto, One Piece, and JJK. I guess I don't know enough about that. Sashi Kishimoto's twin brother got bullied for plagiarizing Naruto in his manga. Did he? I didn't know he had a twin brother. No way the cartel is actually having a ceasefire because of Toriyama. I would not be surprised. The cartel loves Dragon Ball, and I'm sure today is a very hard day for them. A bunch of players in 14 have been doing a monument to Toriyama in the form of a bonfire vigil. That's very wholesome. Yeah, it's good to see a lot of people just setting aside and being like, listen, I might not like Dragon Ball, but I respect this person, and it's sad that they passed. I've seen posts about it in the Attack on Titan subreddit, in the Berserk subreddit, in the Vinland Saga subreddit. Everybody's talking about it, and everyone's being like, this is a sad thing to happen. Except for those scum on Twitter. Cartel will privately fund the funeral. I would not be surprised if we hear news of a cartel-led firelight or candlelight vigil for Toriyama in somewhere in the South in South America. I've seen really wholesome coverage on Twitter. I mean, it's Twitter though. There's always a dark side to it. There's that one post that everyone's been passing around of that dude being like, who cares this dude fucking died? All he did was make Asian cartoons. Absolute degeneracy. It's the comeback of the truckin'. It sure is. We out here. How you doing, Double G? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way in. I appreciate that. Okay, so wait, did Kishimoto's, or sorry, no, it is Kishimoto. Did Kishimoto's twin brother actually plagiarize him, or people just accuse him of plagiarizing him because they're brain dead? Because people don't tend to know what plagiarism is. I was really glad when H-Bomber Guy made his plagiarism video, he specifically made sure to set aside a section and talk about the difference between plagiarism and taking inspiration for something, because I was afraid that people were going to see his video and take the wrong thing away from it, but luckily that did not happen, because H-Bomber Guy is a clever fella and foresaw that. They just accused him. Okay, so it's nonsense. It's always a shame to see people disregard death in general. Yeah, I mean, I talked about this last stream, I think. I talked about, you know, there's regardless of how you feel about people, I don't generally feel like there's like people that deserve death. Like, Too Mad, that's what I was talking about in reference to. Like, yeah, Too Mad did some really bad things while he was alive, and like, definitely, bad shit happened with that dude, but it's not a good thing that he's dead. And people celebrating his death that's very fucked up. He's a young kid who spiraled hard. I was always really hoping to see him recognize his issues and bounce back, but it just didn't happen. And people celebrating it? That's fucked up. Bye, Green. Thanks for sticking around. Sorry I'm so goddamn entertaining that you can't help but stick around. Like Musk guys. Listen, there are bad people out there, and I'm not, you know, it's not like I wouldn't be here celebrating Hitler's death if he died today, you know, but generally, I would say the number of people who deserve to die or that I would celebrate the death of are very low. Even if I don't like somebody, I don't think they deserve to die. This fucking thing is in the worst spot ever for me to park! Alright, I'm gonna try this one more time and then I'll auto park if I can't, because I don't give a shit. It's not a bad angle for me to park at. It's much easier if I can like look out the window, but it's on the side that I can't look out the window of, so unfortunately. I'm gonna hit that crane again at this rate. Okay, we're all right. No, I hit it again. No, we're good, we're good, we're good. But I'm nowhere near the parking. I'm just gonna auto park. I'm done. This is annoying. Where's the auto park prompt? Since you played Power World, will you play normal Pokemon games? Probably not. I don't plan to buy another Pokemon game until I see a Pokemon game where I feel like they tried. I don't feel like they've tried for the past couple of games, so I don't want to support that and spend money on their games. I want them to take a financial hit and recognize that they actually have to attempt making fun games. Most profitable video game franchise in the world can try a little harder than they do, I think. Hire some more staff, stuff like that. And let me just put that out there, you know, I'm sure some brain dead motherfuckers would take that as me saying that the game devs need to crunch harder. No, they have enough money to hire more staff and output better games. Hopefully Legends Z-Day can be that, but it's likely Cope. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's an anime character you simp over? Mine is All Might. Frankie from One Piece. Everybody who follows the channel knows how much I want to fuck him. Is that the nearest rest stop? Man, when they designed this game, they should put more rest stops in the towns that you go to. I don't want to drive all the way out here just to get some gas and sleep. It's not that far, I guess. Hi, bruh. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking it on your way in. I appreciate that. Or maybe you're leaving. I don't know. I was quite surprised to hear the next Pokemon game will be released next year. They were just pumping them out extremely low quality. I saw someone praise the next Pokemon game having 1 year development, which I thought is mad short for 2024. People who don't understand industries that they're talking about find weird things to celebrate about. Like when One Piece wrapped up the Wano arc and the showrunners announced that they would not be doing a filler arc in between Wano and Egghead, people celebrated that. And I was sitting here like, why the fuck would you celebrate that? They need filler. If they don't use filler, the pacing is just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Why would you be happy that they aren't doing filler? And same thing, for people to celebrate that the Pokemon game has so little development time. Well, considering the Pokemon company is lazy as fuck, and doesn't give a shit about making good games, that means it's gonna be crap. They probably crunched the shit out of the developers to make a mid-ass game. I guess they didn't think about the implications. No. And they probably should. Since we're bringing out back Mega Evolution, this time may be different. We'll see. I always thought Mega Evolution was like one of the better gimmicks. I don't like the like gimmickification of Pokemon, where like every game has to have a new gimmick. Where first it was Mega Evolutions, and Mega Evolutions were actually cool, and then they did Z moves, and it was like, oh, okay. And then they did Gigantamaxing, and it's like, what the fuck is going on anymore? And I don't even know what they did for Scarlet and Violet, but like Mega Evolutions were cool, so they probably should have just stuck with that to begin with. Are you really getting your CDL? RIP, hope you can still upvote. No, I am not. But I appreciate the concern. If you could, out of all the arcs in One Piece, which do you think shouldn't be a thing? Oh, it's hard to say, right? Because they all have like very important impacts to the story overall. I think that Long Ring, Long Land, even though it's like it's essentially like it's the only arc that I would consider filler in One Piece. It has like the importance of introducing Aokiji and like alluding to Robin's importance. Like Oda probably could have moved that to a different arc. He probably could have moved that to the end of Skypiea or to the beginning of Water 7 and just cut out Long Ring, Long Land, because holy shit, like, I don't speak ill of many things in One Piece, but I hate Long Ring, Long Land. It makes me want to die. In Scarlet and Pilot, the Pokemon get hate? What does that mean? There's a reason filler, even if it tends to be lower quality, may throw off some story beats depending on the situation, but not having filler could be just as bad as you said. Yeah, I mean, ideally, we wouldn't release manga on a weekly schedule. We would release it on seasons, and then there wouldn't be a need for filler because, you know, there would be the proper amount of time to generate the story, so it wouldn't have to have horrible pacing. But if you're gonna do it weekly, fuck it, man. Do a shit ton of filler, so at least the pacing of the important stuff isn't fucked up. You know, like, Foxy, how dare you? Is it too long? No, it's really short. It's like 15, 20 chapters, I would say, but it's just really, it's just not a very engaging arc, I would say. Are we still talking about food? No, we're talking about anime now. I just don't understand how to make filler work. Even though you make a good filler arc, it won't have consequences to the actual story. I mean, that's, you know, going back to what I just said. Ideally, you wouldn't need to do filler at all because you would release your story on seasons and just follow the progression of the manga. But if you're gonna do it weekly, which I do think is a bad thing and you shouldn't do it, but if you're going to make the mistake of doing weekly manga, add a bunch of filler so that the general viewing experience isn't impacted by, you know, catching up to the manga, which is what has happened to One Piece. And it just keeps getting worse, and people somehow celebrate when they don't do filler. Bro, you want filler, so at least the good parts of the story aren't fucked. Pokemon get hats. Hats? What the fuck are you talking about? Man, I do not know enough about Scarlet Violet. Hot take, Baki is good. I don't think that's a hot take. I think a lot of people like Baki. I don't know anything about it personally, but... What is it with Toei and doing it weekly? Because, well, it's an ancient business practice, right? Like it's a thing that was very popular to do back in the day, and it worked very well for them. The reason they still do it is because it hasn't stopped working for them. If anything, like the fact that One Piece does as well as it does, despite how fucked the anime is, speaks to how great of a story One Piece is. The fact that it can have like the worst pacing in anime history, and have periods of time where the animation is just atrocious, but people still tune in to watch it in troves, speaks to how good One Piece is and how it could be so much better if it wasn't being done by Toei. What's the best indie game y'all played throughout your time? I don't know, man. There's a lot of good indie games. We can at least hope the next One Piece anime to be seasonally. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to depend on how the first season performs. And I also, you know, I hope, yeah, I just hope that it's a faithful adaptation. I hope that they don't make a bunch of unnecessary changes. Nappa isn't doing One Punch Man Season 3. I don't believe. I think that's what I heard. Scarlet Violet, the Pokemon get stupid looking hats that change their types. Yeah, I hate when games just get all gimmicky like that, where they're like, shit, our base gameplay is brain dead and we've done nothing to innovate on it for years. Let's start adding a stupid gimmick every game that nobody likes. When you say filler, do you mean anything that doesn't progress the plot, or do you mean stuff that is actually pointless and has no character or world building and will be forgotten by the next chapter? I'd say more the latter half of your explanation. Long Ring Long Land, like the events like Foxy as a character, the Davy back fight, the old man, like none of that did anything to progress the plot at all. The parts of that arc that progressed the plot were the things that had nothing to do with like the main action of the event. Like Aokiji coming in at the end and being introduced, and like the Robin stuff. That's what advanced the story and advanced the plot. But Long Ring Long Land itself, like that was tertiary to the main events of Long Ring Long Land. The stuff that happened in Long Ring Long Land did nothing to advance that. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and be right back. I am back. What's the first anime you guys watched? The Davy back fight is a funny concept. Makes sense. Something goofy like that exists in One Piece pirate culture. Yeah, but it never gets brought up again outside of that one instance. It exists purely for that moment and never again, at least so far. I'm so shocked it got announced to do One Piece remake before GTA 6. I mean, I'm not. One Piece is way older than GTA 5. This is the first anime you guys ever watched. See, that's a hard question to answer because I feel like I don't remember the first time I saw an anime. Like it's been a part of my life for so long. That takes us back to Oregon. Take chlorine to Oxnard, California. Fine. That sounds fun. I definitely watched Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, but I didn't get as into it as a lot of other people did. It was okay. Yeah, I mean, it could have been Pokemon. It could have been Yu-Gi-Oh! It could have been Naruto, One Piece, or Dragon Ball. Like, all of those were playing on, like, the TV when I was a kid. How about we get a Davy back fight when Luffy meets Shanks? I know it likely won't, as this is a heavily built-up event that holds serious narrative weight, but I can hope. Yeah, I don't really know what his plan is for Luffy and Shanks. It's gonna be interesting to think. I feel like there's a good chance that Luffy and Shanks will fight, but it will not be like a hostile fight. Like, they won't be enemies with one another. It'll just be like a deciding who gets to take the One Piece type deal. It'll be almost like a friendly rivalry type battle. It's kind of the same thing that I expect from like Mihawk and Zoro. Like, I don't expect their fight to have a lot of like hostility or animosity, just more like a passing of the torch, like seeing if Zoro can measure up. Oh shit, I gotta get off this exit. I haven't read any light novels yet. I wouldn't say I'm against reading them entirely, but they just I really like manga. I really like the visual element of you know, that style of storytelling. I don't read a lot of books in general. I just prefer graphic novels and manga and shit like that. If it doesn't have pictures, I can't read it. Favorite enemy is Katanagatari? I don't think I've heard of that. I don't know that one. This is a nice little area. This is a nice little part of town. I like this. It's pleasant. Why is everyone just talking about their mental illnesses in the chat? What inspired this? It's a Strand type game? Yes. Yes, it is. Death Stranding being the first Strand type game? My dude, we were making deliveries in American trucks and back in 2013. ADHD gang, if I don't have pictures, I won't read it. I mean, I don't know if I have ADHD or not. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD. I don't think I have ADHD. It's just a preference. I wouldn't say I have anything against books. I just... I feel like I'm a very visual person. And so when I read a book and I read like descriptors, I start to like kind of build a visual image in my mind of what like the scene looks like, what the characters look like, whatever. And sometimes I'll like try to do that, and in the process of doing that, I'll kind of like get lost and not be able to focus on what the story is about, and that makes it difficult for me. Or like I'll have this mental image of what something should look like, and then the author will add an additional descriptor that completely changes what I saw, and then I basically have to like reread the whole thing to try to understand the scene. So the thing I like about graphic novels and manga is that I don't have to do that work. The author can just show me what they want me to see. My senses have returned. We've successfully rode out of the peak. Good. Sounds great. Don't know what you're talking about, but I'm happy for you. I do the same with the visual reading, especially with the hair. Yeah, no, it's tough. I like reading educational books. I find to be much easier because if I'm curious about something, I can just look it up, right? Oh, I was taking chlorine to California. That's what I was here for. We also have Lufkin, Texas. That would be a pretty long job. How long is this, like? I guess I can't see. Trip hours, 14 hours, 24 hours. Let's do the 14-hour one. There it is. There's the tanker. Reading stressed me out as a kid. Hang on, I lost the message I was reading. Reading stressed me out as a kid because my interpretations would often conflict with everyone I knew. That's interesting. What's favorite final arc in an anime? Attack on Titan for me. I don't know. A lot of the anime/manga I've read and watched haven't finished yet. One Piece is ongoing. Berserk is ongoing. Vinland Saga is ongoing. Okay, yeah, I really liked how Chainsaw Man Part 1 wrapped up. Chainsaw Man Part 1 was like fucked hard. Which is why I have so much faith in Fujimoto for Part 2. Ye naysayers who doubt the Fujimoto shall be humbled by his grandeur. Or maybe he'll fuck it up, I don't know. Fire Punch was really strong too. Fujimoto just knows how to wrap up a story. People, when reading manga, are just way too impatient. They're like, Part 2 isn't doing exactly what I want it to do, therefore it has fallen off and is gay. Would you want a Part 3? I guess it depends on how Part 2 wraps up. Like, if I feel like there's room for a Part 3, then sure. But personally, I kind of don't think Fujimoto wants to do a Part 3. Or if he does want to do a Part 3, he should probably hire an illustrator, because it seems like he's not... I know Fujimoto really likes telling stories. It doesn't seem like the art side is super important to him. And, like, he needs to either hire an illustrator to illustrate the stories for him, or he needs to hire more editors, because the art quality has taken a dip. And I don't know if it's because he's just overworked or what, but he needs to get some assistance with that, I think. Furman deserves the hype. I'm still in the middle of watching it. I need to keep watching it. It's been a couple weeks since I watched an episode, but I'm really enjoying it. What One Piece character do you hate the most? Hate in what way? Hate as in I don't want them to be in the story, or hate as in they're a deplorable person? How is Berserk still ongoing if the author is dead? So the torch is being carried by Koji Mori, who was Kentaro Miura's best friend for like his entire life. Like they knew each other when they were kids. Koji Mori is also a mangaka, and Koji Mori has stated that like Kentaro Miura told him how the story is supposed to progress and how it's supposed to end. So he is carried on the torch, and is continuing the story. Based on what Kentaro Miura told him. So that's how they're doing it. Now, personally, my feeling on it is that I'm satisfied with like kind of an open-ended ending that we would have left off on by Kentaro Miura's final chapter. So I'm willing to accept that as the ending if the story, doesn't progress very well as a result of Koji Mori's work, but I'm also very open to giving him a chance to try it out and see if he can do it. Manga version of Vinland Saga is better. I agree. I think the anime was very well done ultimately, but I prefer the manga. As a character, I think Doflamingo is a very evil, horrid person. I love him as a. Okay, wait, hang on. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure if I understood you. Is it hate as in I hate this character, I don't like them being in the story, I don't like when they're on screen? Or is it hate as in if this person was real, I would hate them, but they're a well-written character? I'm still confused. Doflamingo, I'll just answer both. I'll answer both, how about? Doflamingo is for me a character that I would hate as a person. He's a total fucking scumbag and like, God, what an awful person. But he's an extraordinarily well-written character, and I love him being a part of the story. And in terms of don't like them in the story, I fucking hate Foxy from Long Ring Longland. He was an annoying character. He wasn't funny. I don't like the way he's drawn. And he's in like the worst part of the story. So I fucking hate him. I wish he didn't exist. I hate that Toei decided to make an entire filler and bring him back post time skip. Like, they not only did they make the mistake of extending Long Ring Longland when it happened, they also made a filler and brought him back for another time. Fuck off! I hate Foxy. He's shit. But Dolphy is so smexy, so all is forgiven. Why One Piece character is so fucking tall for no reason. Oda kind of ascribes to this idea that like physical stature is representative of like a character's greatness, in a sense. So if there's a character who's really important, they're probably also gigantic, so that they really stick out in a scene. I personally really enjoy it. I think people, I don't know, so Luffy is weak? No, obviously not, but isn't Roger normal size though? Well, there's it's not like an always applicable rule. It's not always like that. It's just a lot of characters who are important or physically powerful are big, but it's not like every character. Shanks is a pretty normal sized person too. He's tall, but he's pretty normal sized overall. I guess it plays into having someone regular be great. Yeah. So I think what you have to see is a lot of people who are like large statured were almost like born with a natural talent to be strong. So if you think of people like Big Mom or Kaido, they were powerful from the get-go. Like, they were powerful as kids. But then characters like Luffy or Shanks or Roger, I think the implication is that they're normal-sized people, but they're very powerful, so they didn't have that, like, natural start. Like, they started weak and got strong. That's just my interpretation of it anyway. But I think that the bigger part of it is just that, like, Oda likes drawing people with weird proportions because it makes them, it just gives his characters a ton of variety, and it gives them a ton of room to just make them visually interesting. You know, if you're gonna have a story like One Piece that is so long and has so many different characters, the one thing you really don't want is to make all of them look the same. And he kind of fucks that up with women. But generally speaking, it is very easy to differentiate One Piece characters from one another. Like, they're super recognizable. They all have super iconic designs. Like, for the same reason he's used the variety. Yeah, it's a really helpful, I would say. Oda just likes drawing a bunch of wacky designs, so he puts them in. There's that too. Like, Oda's the kind of guy who just, if there's something fun and cool that he has an idea for, he'll probably do it. Imagine if Foxy became the Pirate King. I hope the Power World gets enough sales to scare the Pokemon Company into making better games with effort, like the old games, like Black and White, 1 and 2, and Platinum, to name some examples. I really like Pokemon X and Y. Pokemon X and Y was the last one that I really liked. But realistically, it will probably have no impact because Pokemon has a fucking cult worship of people who are completely unwilling to accept any criticism or completely unwilling to accept that Game Freak can make a mistake. Those games will continue to sell ridiculously well. I think it's going to be a very long time before their sales start to dip. I think more and more public opinion is shifting away from the Pokemon games, and Pal World probably did some decent damage to that, but I think it's still going to be a very long time before we see Game Freak and the Pokemon Company start fucking trying. Foxy the Sun God. Never played Pokemon in my life. What games do you suggest to me to start? I personally think I started with Ruby and Sapphire, and I think Ruby and Sapphire hold up really well. I've played Ruby and Sapphire a couple times throughout my life, and I still love them to this day. Ruby and Sapphire are great games. Diamond and Platinum, no, Diamond and Pearl / Platinum are also really strong. And Pokemon X and Y. I think those are the three that I would say are really, really solid starts. Really loved your content. I binge watched that shit 4 times. I got a huge exam tomorrow, so it mean a lot if you wish me luck. Yes, I'm 15. Please don't judge. I'm not judging. Thank you for watching the videos. That's super kind of you. I'm really glad you like them. I really appreciate that, and I wish you luck with your big exam. I'm sure you're gonna do great. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate that. I think the bigger problem is that those are a loud minority, but the people who buy it yearly just play games casually and don't pay attention to the quality. I think a lot of it really does just come down to like the love / nostalgia factor. Like people just, they love Pokemon. They don't just, you know, I don't know. There's just not a lot of energy being put into viewing them critically, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like if you're having fun, whatever. But for those of us that are looking for a better experience, we're not going to get it because so many people are just buying them constantly every year. Remember Black and White though for the antagonist, and even though it's been like years I've played it, I played Black and White, but I don't remember it that well. I definitely don't remember it as fondly as everybody else does. I don't remember disliking it. It's just it doesn't stick as prevalently as in my memory. Like Ruby and Sapphire was like my fucking jam when I was a kid. Like the music in that game gives me like tingles because it's just like such an ever-present part of my childhood, and I love it. Has the creator of Vinland Saga made any other manga that are great? He had some other manga from before he started Vinland Saga, but I haven't read them, so I don't know. What are the most anime games that aren't based on anime? FromSoft, Sekiro, and AC6 come to mind. Also, your only move is Hustle, sort of, and maybe Kenshi. Anything else? I think Sekiro probably is the most anime non-anime game. AC6 is Armored Core 6. Armored Core 6 was really good. I do recommend that. Oh shit, I'm gonna ran into this person. Sekiro is like, man, when you land a Makiri counter, or when you land a ton of parries in a row, and when you finally get to kill the enemy, like it just hits so hard. Like it just hits those hype moments where you're like, this is some anime shit in a more realistic setting. I love Sekiro so much. I just want more of that. I need more. I need more Sekiro. I hated Nioh. I tried so hard to get into Nioh and to try to understand what people like about it and try to like enjoy it, but man, that game feels so fucking clunky to play. Can you run over pedestrians? No, they all have like force fields around them, so if you try to run into them, your truck just stops instantly. Kind of lame. One of these days, I wish to go to Poland. I'm a Witcher fan, read both books, and played the 3rd game. I couldn't get into The Witcher. I think I'll acknowledge that like The Witcher 3 is a really well-written game, and that's like a really strong point of it, and I did really enjoy like the story elements, but like I hated the way it played. I hated the way the combat felt. I hated like how awkward everything felt. I couldn't stand it. So I never got very far into the game. I really tried. I played The Witcher 3 like 3-4 times trying to get into it, and I just never could. More realistic. Ah, yes, the game with a headless monkey being controlled by a headphone. Perfectly realistic. I said more realistic. I didn't say realistic. It's more realistic than anime. One of these days, I wish to go back. No, I already read that. Totally agree. I never felt the thrill like in Sekiro. I still need to beat it, lol. Same, I don't get it. Neo gets boring. They have low health. I just, like, yeah, I hated the way it felt to play that game. But yeah, Sekiro is like... Oh, it just feels so good to play. Jedi Fallen Order is like a watered-down version of Sekiro's gameplay, but so much fun still. Yeah, I played Jedi Fallen Order last year, and I had a really good time with it. It was just kind of like Sekiro, but easier. But I didn't really have a problem with that. Like, it was still really fun to play. Really looking forward to how Joseph Anderson breaks it down and explains it. The Witcher 3? Yeah, I'll watch that video, because I'm curious to know, like, his thoughts on it. But, like, man, I can't get into it. Mack releases his domain expansive bad anime review. You don't want to go to Poland? Matter of fact, stay away from Eastern Europe altogether. It fucking sucks here. Damn, Andres, I'm sorry. Sucks Jedi Survivor had so many problems. I would have bought it early. I would have bought it earlier. Yeah, I'd like to buy Jedi Survivor at some point, but from what I understand, like, the game still is not optimized well on PC, and it doesn't seem like EA is putting much work into fixing that. Or, well, yeah, EA is not giving Respawn the money to do it. Like, they should really fix that, because I've heard it's a very good game, but the PC port is still fucked. Are you gonna play games like Dark Souls or Bloodborne? I played all of the FromSoft games on stream. If you're curious, I have a VOD channel that is linked in the description of this live stream, and you can go and find it. But I played the Dark Souls trilogy. I played Bloodborne, Sekiro, Demon's Souls, and Elden Ring. I played all of them on stream, and those VODs are available on my VOD channel if you're curious to see them. Dark Souls 3 was the only one that I played that I had fully played before. Bloodborne I'd played a good chunk of. Dark Souls I'd played a good chunk of. And Sekiro I played a small chunk of. But other than that, all those were blind playthroughs, so... It's not putting out updates despite the problem still existing. There's this thing that, like, EA is doing where they just, like, they put out a crap PC port and, like, shoot themselves in the foot with, like, a decent game. Like, Jedi Survivor is supposed to be pretty good, but they aren't fixing it. And Wild Hearts, too. Like, Wild Hearts, from what I understand, was, like, a really solid Monster Hunter-like. But they made a few big mistakes. They made it a $70 game, and they released it in a shit optimization state, and then they never fixed it. And now they're, like... They announced that they're not doing any more updates for it or not doing any more support for it. They're like, dude, I wanted to play Wild Hearts. I wanted to try it out. I was just waiting for it to be, like, optimized and, like, not run like shit. But they just decided, like, well, it didn't sell super well because we put out a poorly optimized game for $70. What the fuck did you expect to happen, EA? Fix your shit and maybe people will play it. No game is worth more than $50. I don't know that I agree with that. There are definitely some $70 games that have lived up to that price point. I would say generally I am against the $70 price point, and I still don't think the reasons for moving up to that point are really valid at all. It's definitely just more corporate greed. But you know, I'd say God of War Ragnarok definitely lived up to the $70 price tag I paid for it. You know what, Pookie Bear, you deserve more subscribers. Well, thank you, Bungus. That's very sweet. If I had to choose a place to go, I'd probably choose New Zealand. There are some other good places, but I feel like New Zealand is just left alone with no one mentioning it. Yeah, New Zealand seems like a nice place to live from what I understand. Definitely not a bad option at all. Companies should make better games because the world that would equal more sales, more people trying to get into others. I mean, like Wild Hearts 2, it was like essentially a Monster Hunter knockoff, and it's a very co-op heavy game. Like what they really should have done with that is like put it on Game Pass or made it like $30. Because if you want people to try your new IP that is based very heavily on an existing IP that requires an active fan base, you need to make like the like cost of entry really low if you want to like build a decent fan base out of it. You know what is Helldivers 2? $40, and it's like everybody's playing it. Like there's a very low entry cost comparatively than if they had set it at like $70. And so when they make Wild Hearts, it's a new IP. New IPs are always kind of hard to sell. It's very reliant on multiplayer. It's very poorly optimized. And you make it $70. Yeah, no fucking wonder it flopped. What'd you expect to happen, you dumbasses? I wanted to try Wild Hearts. I really wanted to because I heard it was like pretty decent, but just the optimization really held it back. I was really hoping they would update it and fix it. And I wanted to play it like when it was fixed, but apparently instead they're just like, yeah, we're not updating anymore. This shit flopped because we were a terrible company who make terrible decisions. So we're not going to update it anymore. Bruh. I kept playing Ragnarok. I'm just shit at the game. I gotta play more Ragnarok because I gotta finish the Valhalla expansion stuff. Side note, love you, Mac, and I'll probably get Helldivers 2 soon. I love you too, bro. That's so sweet. I'm sure you'll have fun with Helldivers when you pick it up. The moment Helldivers 2 goes on sale, I'm on Steam. I'm buying it. It's a very worthy purchase, I would say. The Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand. It was basically made the place cool again. Yeah, I know that. I think everybody knows that. I actually wish COD would just end. It's like an old man going to frat party to relive the old days. I mean, it's the same thing with Pokemon. They're not going to innovate on that franchise. They're not going to change anything or do anything new or do anything risky until people stop buying them. But every year, the yearly Call of Duty release is like one of the most sold games of the year. People fucking love them, even when they're shit. They should have stopped making Wolfensteins after New Order. That ending was just... I never played the modern Wolfenstein games. I know some of them were good and some of them weren't, but I never played them. I think we're driving through Nevada right now. So weird to say, but Ubisoft is actually trying to experiment with AC to keep it fresh. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the Assassin's Creed fans that they got Assassin's Creed Mirage. From what I understand, it wasn't like a perfect experience, but I don't know. There's something that really rubs me the wrong way about how they've handled Assassin's Creed, where like they've just kind of abandoned a lot of the tenets of the original games so they could turn it into this cash cow. Like, if you're going to make a game that's so different from the base experience, like, I don't know if you should keep calling it Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, to me, did not feel like an Assassin's Creed game. It's just, as someone who hasn't played an Assassin's Creed since Black Flag, Valhalla did not feel like an Assassin's Creed to me. It felt like something completely different. Thoughts on Titanfall 2? Haven't played it. I have it in my Steam library. I just haven't played it yet. I know people speak very fondly of it. I'm interested in the single player experience. I'm not really a competitive multiplayer guy. I don't really enjoy competitive multiplayer experiences, but people will speak very highly of the single player experience, so I want to experience that. I agree, but I did really like Elvor as a protagonist. Did you beat the game? No, I didn't play the game. I saw some reviews of the game, and I saw some stuff about the game. So, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt, because I ultimately am speaking from a place of, like, an outside perspective. But from my outside perspective, it did not feel like Assassin's Creed to me. Is reading chat while driving the equivalent to texting while driving IRL? Kinda. A little bit. I mean, I feel like the thing that's dangerous about texting while driving isn't the reading part, it's the texting part, because you have to focus more. So, like, I can just speak, which makes it a little more safe, but it's definitely not safe. And I would be pulled over and arrested if I was, you know, driving a truck and chatting with people that are text scrolling on a screen. That said, if it wasn't illegal to do real-life driving live streams, I would fucking do it in an instant, baby. Saddens me that we don't get Metroidvania much anymore outside of indie games. Yeah, I mean, there's certain formats of games that have, like, really thrived in the indie scene, but the AAA stuff haven't really hooked onto. Immersive Sims come to mind, because Immersive Sims have never sold very well popularly, but Immersive Sims, like the good ones, are so solid and so well done that it's like, man, I wish more AAA developers got the chance to, like, make some really cool Immersive Sims. Not to say there's anything wrong with the indie ones, it's just like, you know, indies, they have to limit their scope. But man, like, did you guys hear about, like, the I think it was Warner Brothers shareholder call, where in the same year that Suicide Squad is a massive fucking flop, like their live service, their attempt at a live service game was a massive fucking flop, and they had a super successful single player game in Hogwarts Legacy. Now, mind you, I don't know about the quality of Hogwarts Legacy. It didn't look like a very good game to me, but it did very well sales wise. What they took from that, there was a sales call, and the CEO was like, man, we should have made Harry Potter a live service game. Don't you think the takeaway should be that you should invest more energy into single player experiences, you fucking money grubbing asshole? The live service is just such a plague on the gaming industry. Like, dude, there are plenty of, like, good live service games that have come out, like Helldivers 2 and Deep Rock Galactic, but, like, so many times we see developers that have really solid repertoires and really good skills to make decent games being forced to make a live service experience that fucking blows. Rocksteady did really well with the Arcane trilogy, single player experiences. They make a live service game out of Suicide Squad and it flops hard. Arcane make excellent immersive sims in fucking Dishonored and Prey. They get commissioned to make Redfall, a live service game, and it fucking blows. Stop taking developers that have talents to make very good games and forcing them to make live service experiences to line your stockholder wallets. Prey 2017 was a great fucking MSim and great game in general. I loved Prey 2017. Prey 2017 is like one of my all-time favorite games, I would say. I had such a great time playing that game. It was so fucking good. I fully expect that I will replay that game at some point. Warner is allergic to good ideas. Yeah, now they're like delisting all the Adult Swim games for some reason, for whatever reason. I love Modern Warfare 3 Remake being a live service experience. I love not being able to play the campaign. Love the atmosphere, it was so creepy. Yeah, like the atmosphere, the lore, the gameplay, like it was just like every part of Prey was fucking awesome. Like the story experience, like every part of it fucked. And yeah, well, like Iki said, like live service games fail more often than they succeed. Like it's such a volatile genre. It's such a volatile experience that you really need to nail it, right? Like what's important for a live service game? Okay, a really decent base game experience. and probably a low cost of entry. Those are probably like the two most important things. And these AAA developers fuck that up every time. They make a $70 game that runs like crap, and they expect that people are going to play it for years afterwards. Going back to our successful live service games, Helldivers, Deep Rock Galactic, those are cheap games to buy. Deep Rock goes on sale for like $8 all the time. Helldivers is $40. It's not like cheap, but it's not $70 fucking dollars. And they run really well and are fun as fuck. You know? Live service is not inherently bad. It's just that they keep doing it bad. Warner canceling the new Batman Beyond made by Spider-Verse people as borderline criminal. I didn't know that was a thing. Do you notice how indie co-op games seem to have a real thing for Insectoid, DRG, Earth Defense Force 5, Helldivers 2, Star Trek 3, Extermination? It's definitely... if you're gonna fight something, you better fight bugs. Batman Beyond movie rejected was the most brain dead choice ever made. I didn't hear about this. Probably won't be able to play Helldivers 2 in Argentina to go see it though, because, you know, $80. That sucks. I didn't know about that. Warner was offered the choice, the idea of a Batman Beyond animated movie made by the team that made the Spider-Verse movie, and said no. Why would you say no to that? That seems like a terrible idea. If you could choose a devil fruit power in One Piece besides Luffy, what would you choose? So does it have to be a fruit power that currently exists? Like, it can't be like one that I come up with? That's a tough one. Luna moved. Luna is still alive, guys. It's a miracle. She hasn't died of lethargy yet. Hi. How's it going, big baby? Are you comfy? You look comfy. You got something in your eye. I got it. One thing I loved about Prey was the station actually felt like it was nice to live in with all the tight industrial gray hallways. Like Dead Space ship was basically asking for an alien invasion. Yeah, so I talked about that when I played Dead Space. Like, it didn't feel like a living or working space at all. It felt like a mining ship, or well, it felt like an industrial space. And it was like, if people are supposed to live here, then why is it so goddamn uncomfortable? I agree with you. Like, the really cool thing about, I think it was called the Talos in Prey. The really cool thing about it was that it definitely, like, it felt like a place that people lived and worked. The enemy designs in Prey, like the weapons, the puzzles, like everything worked in Prey. There was just, I can't think of a single thing that I did not like about Prey. Like, everything was excellent. You have a kitty that's so cute. Yeah, that's Luna. She's my cat. I've had her since 2019? I adopted her like 5-6 years ago. I feel like a broken record. Steam Argentina has a 100% tax, so every game costs double, and some devs know this and they localize their prices. For Argentina, they half the price of their games. Why is there 100% tax on video games? That's fucked up. What's your favorite stand? Man, I don't know. There's so many different ones. I also really like Arcane style. Dishonored still has some pretty shots even now. Yeah, Dishonored had a very, like, timeless art style. Like, you can definitely tell it's an older game nowadays, but they didn't try to go for realism. They went for a stylization that worked really well. 70% from our country, 30% from Steam. That's crazy. That's insane. That fucking blows. Dream stands are pretty powerful. Wish my cat was as approachable. When I was going to adopt a cat, I really wanted to make sure, because I've had cats my entire life, guys. Like, my parents had a cat before they had a kid. There was a cat in my life before when I was born. So I've had tons of cats throughout the years, and I know cats really well. And I know that, like, when it comes to cats, you want a cat that kind of chooses you as much as you choose them. You can't just adopt a cat because you think they're cute. You have to find a cat that, like, vibes with you and meshes with you, because like cats have very unique personalities. Like, by dog people in particular, cats get typecast into like specific molds, but cats are very, very different, and there's a lot of different personalities, and so it's important to find a cat that really vibes with you. So when I was going to adopt a cat, I went to the shelter like a few weeks in a row to try to find a cat that I thought like I could mesh with, and I saw Luna and I thought she was super cute, and so I asked the people at the shelter if they could like open up her cage so I could see her and see if we vibe, and as they set me up with like a little stool in front of her like cage, and then they like opened the door, and Luna immediately walked right out onto my lap, and she was so friendly and so sweet, and we were like vibing, we were chilling, and I was petting her, and she was all purring and stuff, and I just knew she was like the cat for me. And Luna and I think Luna and I work very well together as a pet and owner, I think. She's really good about, like, if I'm busy working on something, she doesn't bug me much, but if I'm like relaxing, she's just there hanging out with me. Yeah, I know about Lovecraft's cat's name. If I wanted to buy Persona 3 Reloaded, I would have to pay $140. That blows as a Persona fan. I'm sorry, bro. Could you? This is just a question. I don't know if this is possible or legal or what. Maybe like your credit card details would give it away. But could you like set up a Steam account in a different country using a VPN and get better pricing? I don't know how legal that is, but just a question. The thing is, she got traumatized and doesn't like when people touch her too much. You could probably kind of help ease her into being touched by people and get her used to it again. I'm not an expert, so don't ask me, but you could probably look that up. I know that like there are like shelters that have experience dealing with that kind of thing and know how to ease cats back into being friendly with people. I'm not sponsored by VPN, guys. It was just a question. I should pull over here and get some rest. I hope this is actually a place to sleep and not like a garage that I could buy. Sometimes the map shows both, or doesn't differentiate them very well. Looks like it's an actual rest stop. Are you throwing out mastiffs? I'm not a dog person per se. I like dogs, but I wouldn't want one for myself. They're too high maintenance for my lifestyle. Cats are so easy. You just put out a bowl in their litter box and they're good. Hi, MZ Core. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Thanks for liking it on your way in. I really appreciate that. I don't know if you talked about this, but on Avatar live action, the first timer I thought it was a good intro. I haven't watched it yet, so I can't say for sure. I've heard that like some people are not. It seems to be kind of controversial. Like some people like it, some people hate it. So I don't really know. What is this game about? Driving a truck. I'm driving a truck to California to deliver goods. That's the entire point of the game. It's American Truck Simulator. It simulates the truck driving experience. I'm not going to be able to make it through this. This is a very tight corner. Shit, there's not enough room here. How am I going to get through this? Can I get through this? Yes, I can barely. I have not read Vagabond. It is very high on my list, but I haven't gotten to it yet. There's a betterish and more legalish way, because I'm in Italy right now. I can buy wallet codes in euros and then pass them to my account, which converts into dollars and Steam wallet money. Isn't affected by taxes. Oh shit. Okay, so you have options. That really sucks that that's like the situation, but hopefully you can figure out. I can't see too well, man. It's fucking dark here. I'm afraid I'm gonna hit this car if I don't take a wider turn. Okay, that ought to be good. It's a very tight location, like tight corners, tight streets. Hard for a truck to navigate. Just watch the Babylon anime. I don't think I've heard about that. Favorite isekai? Did you not watch my short yesterday, Pedro? I haven't seen any isekai. Do you like the ending of Avatar? Felt like it copped out of giving Aang an interesting choice. No, I don't think so at all, because I think the entire story was building up to that moment where everyone was telling them that he would have to make a choice that he didn't want to make. And I think it actually works really well that he found a way to stick to his principles. I think it's really strong, personally speaking, but I don't want to give away the details because people are watching it for the first time, apparently. Have you seen the John Wick movies? I got bored when there's dialogue, so 4 is my favorite for action. Yes, I have seen the John Wick movies. I agree, story-wise, they're whatever, but action-wise, they're fucking awesome. So, John Wick 2 might be my favorite. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch them to decide, but I like all of them. What do you think is an actual good anime game? While I don't personally play fighting games, Guilty Gear Strive seems really fucking solid. I mean, shit, it's got like one of the best soundtracks in video games, so I listen to the soundtrack even though I don't play the game. I feel like it was very handed to him. I mean, I would personally disagree. I think maybe like the introduction of that ability could have been better, but I think it, you know, with the way that it was built up throughout the entire story, I think it was very earned. After live action, I'm more interested in Zuko and Iroh than the main team. Live action actors crushed it. I mean, they're both really strong characters in the original. Zuko's character arc is like really well done. You know, whenever people like to use that fucking stupid brain dead defense for Demon Slayer that like it's for kids, it doesn't have to be super fucking well written. Well, Avatar did character arcs pretty goddamn well, and it's made for kids too. So shut up, dumbass. Really sucks, but buying stuff the normal way is borderline impossible. Yeah, that does suck. I'm sorry about that, bro. Oh, Persona 5 is also a really solid anime game. I haven't finished it, but like any JRPG that can hold my interest is a good JRPG, if you ask me. Don't buy the PC version. PC version of what? Persona 5? I play it on Game Pass and it's fine. Please, can we not talk about Avatar? Yeah, let's at the very least not spoiler stuff. Let's not speak. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is pretty good too, I think. I don't know anything about it. I haven't played it. Persona 4. What's wrong with the Persona 4 PC version? So, Mac, with your mountain of games, what's next? Well, I need to play Hollow Knight at some point. The patrons voted for me to play Hollow Knight like 2 months ago at this point, and I still haven't done it. So, Hollow Knight is probably the next, like, game that I'll play through. Gotta finish Cyberpunk. I don't know. I'm considering Dragon's Dogma 2 when that drops, but fuck, considering it's coming out in a couple weeks, I definitely won't be playing it on time, I don't think. There's probably a bunch of games that I'm not even thinking of that I also want to play. My brain is dead. I'm dying. Never watched Avatar, just thought it was a show about small man with arrow on his head. I mean, that's not inaccurate. In Persona 5 Golden PC, the 4th dungeon is broken, or was broken, and it closes the game every time you get over the first room. I feel like they probably would have fixed that, but I don't know. I don't think it would have a positive rating on Steam if it still had that issue. Baldur's Gate stream. Man, I really want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I do not think it would be a good stream game just because it's so fucking long that I would be playing it for like 8 years. I don't know. I think that's a game that I have to play in my personal time. It's hard to get excited about new releases when there's so many older games to play that are long. Yeah, there's a lot of games that I want to play right now. I'm very into video games right now. Sometimes I have phases where I don't want to play video games at all, but I'm very into video games right now, so. What music do you like to listen to while driving, while real life driving? I mean, I like to listen to a lot of music. I like to put on some jazz when I'm on a longer drive because it's a little relaxing, or maybe some city pop. I listen to a lot of jazz, just in general. Modern jazz, slow jazz, acid jazz. I really like funk and disco. I like something that makes me like kind of groove and dance. I like to sing when I drive a lot, so songs that I can sing are nice. Weirdly, textured Persona 4 Golden PC are worse than the PS2 version. That's strange. Channel called XP to Level 3 has been doing a Chat Plays Baldur's Gate 3 series, and it's going on for months. And I don't think it has started Act 2 yet. That sounds about right. Izuka brought up a good question. What's your favorite anime/manga power system? I talked about this a couple streams ago. I think it's One Piece, with the caveat that it has been kind of iffy recently. But like, I really love Devil Fruits and Hockey. I like how they're very simple, but they're super flexible and they have a ton of variety within that system. The addition of the advanced forms of hockey, Advanced Observation was fine, but Advanced Armament and Advanced Conquerors have kind of muddied the waters and made it kind of difficult to follow. But like, I just love Devil Fruits. Like, they're so simple, they're so straightforward. You get a power and you can't swim, but like, there's so much room for variety within that, and it's so straightforward that it's like, as soon as you find out what a character's power is, it's like super clear what they're capable of. Nen Dogs, yeah, Devil Fruits. Okay, if you guys are gonna ask me what my favorite power system is and then be like, this is shit compared to whatever I like, then I'm not gonna talk about it. So I don't know anything about Hunter x Hunter. I can't comment on it, and I don't, you know. Why does one have to be better than the other? Can't they both just be good? Chainsaw Man is really strong as well. What do you think about gacha games? I don't get into them. You heard of Fat Kid Big Band? I don't know what that is. Because it's just better. Well, I mean, that's subjective. And again, I don't know anything about Hunter x Hunter, so I'm talking about what I have experience with. And for you to come in and be like, fuck that, that's, you know, just kind of rude. Mine is stands because some of them are gods and others are borderline shit. One Piece is also good. I like stands because I like how creative Araki is with like the utility of powers that seem very specific. But at the same time, it can also be very confusing, so. I thought the concept of Bleach was really interesting by having it tied to the character's internal issues, but it doesn't have the complex character work to really work. The Bleach, like, just kept adding things to the point that it just got really messy. You know, it was like, okay, so you got katanas that can turn into something else. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Then you add bankais, which are like the ultimate form of their ability to turn into something else. Okay, that's fine. Also, there are some people that have masks that make them stronger, but only for a limited time. Okay. Also, there are these guys called Quincy's. They use bow and arrows. Okay, that makes sense. Here are more Quincy's, but these ones don't use bow and arrows. Oh, all right. And then you have full bring, which is just a completely separate thing that nobody will ever use after that arc. Okay, all right. It was just like, dude, how about flesh out what you built first instead of continuously adding more? The Dragon Ball problem except without the numbers. Yeah, same deal. Like, Dragon Ball just kept going up and up to the point that it just got nonsensical and meaningless. That's why I think it's really important when you write a story to set, like, a ceiling. Set, like, an upper limit of power and, like, show that to your readers so they understand it. So they can have an idea of, like, okay, I understand how powerful a character is in the context of their own world. I'm telling Belle that you're dissing Bleach. I really wanted Ichigo's full bring to remain a thing. It looked interesting. So from what I heard, the full bring thing was supposed to be just like a total. There was just two things I've heard. One was that it was that Kubo wanted it to be like a new series, but Shona didn't want it to end Bleach, so he just like turned Bleach into the full bring series. And then the second aspect of it was that the intention was for it to be like a clean break from like the old power system and just be a new thing, new storyline, new characters associated with it, and just be its own thing. But people hated it so much that he basically had to go back on it and be like, actually, this was all just working towards Ichigo regaining his Soul Reaper powers. I want to get into Bleach, but I'm stuck on the wrong card versus Captains. It's like never ending. Wake of Mundo is really weak, if you ask me. A lot of people speak very highly about it. I think it's really weak. I think like the final arc is better than the story as a whole. But overall, it's just Where am I parking this? It's over here. What about playing Undertale all routes, Pacifist, and Genocide? I mean, I've played that before, not on stream, but just on my own, so I don't think it would be very interesting since I've, I can't, it's not like a blind experience, like I've done that. Why are there invisible walls here? This is really annoying. Shit, I'm gonna ram into this tank if I'm not careful. Well, this is a very annoying situation I've put myself into because I saw a gap that I thought I could drive through, but the game decided I can't do that. You're damn right I am, Crossman. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way, and I appreciate that. Of course, I think the most confusing power system. There's, like, elements of it that are really solid. But like there's just it's too convoluted, I feel like, where there's just like too many layers to it. Where, you know, the basic idea of like cursed energy, you can buff yourself and defend yourself, and everybody has a unique power associated with it. Like that's pretty straightforward. That's pretty easy to understand. Then you start adding in shit like barriers and reverse cursed technique and domain expansions, and it just, I'm gonna just auto park this. It just becomes a fucking mess. It's still really funny that the actual Quincy's don't use bows, and that's the thing too. Like the Quincy's that showed up in the final war arc were way cooler than the Quincy's were made out to be. But it just feels like it got retconned, where it's like, actually Quincy's don't use bows. Some of them shoot fire and fucking make zombies and shit. Like it was something else, man. Each power system is just cool in my eyes. Each power set is themed around certain things, like the Iron Car being based around death and that kind of stuff. It's not that it isn't cool, but it's just it's like, how do you make anything have meaning if you constantly are replacing it, right? Like how do you make Bankais have meaning if you're like, actually visored masks are really strong, and the guys who have Bankais are kind of weak comparatively, and they have to get stronger so they can fight the visoreds and the Iran Car. Actually, Quincy's are way stronger than Soul Reapers. Like, they would just fucking destroy Soul Reapers, so they gotta get stronger so they don't. Like, it's just kind of a mess where it's like, what is the meaning of any power if you're constantly gonna replace it with the next thing? Quirks and AMHA are solid, but I don't like the idea that every power should be scientifically explained, but it isn't for 99% of the characters. Yeah, it's weird how some characters have, like, physics and biology tied to their powers, and others just don't and are fine. Would you rather eat a smile fruit or watch Demon Slayer in English dub? Fuck, that's a tough one, man. I think I'd rather eat a smile fruit, because then at least I have a tiny chance of having a fucking animal grow out of my body. You know, at least if I eat a smile fruit and it fails, I'll be laughing and having fun. If I watch Demon Slayer in English dub, I'll just want to die the whole time. Toriko's the best power system because food. I haven't read Toriko. Rock, paper, scissors systems are the best. I would disagree with that. Not to say that they're bad. I think it's important to show, like, the strengths and weaknesses of powers, but not to, like, overtly say, like, one thing is better than another. Gamble every fight trying to get a perfect score. I'm gonna use your parking lot to sleep. Thanks. I remember when Point Blank Etsica 10 show was used, it was like the, like, man, wish more creative shit like that happened. Bleach during the fake Karakura Town arc completely put me off after some absolute asshole with Yami Yargo. I'm not super sure I remember what you're even referring to. I think it's their on-car stuff from Wakamundo. I don't know. Oda never explained how Jinbei knew exactly where Straw Hats were on Wano. I mean, I don't really think that warrants an explanation. He knew they were on Wano, and Jinbei's a pretty smart guy. I don't think it was super hard for him to infer, you know, based on rumors and stuff that was floating around. Because like a lot of the populace was aware that something might be going down at Onigashima. It's not too shocking to me that Jinbei could have sussed that out himself. I don't think that really warrants an explanation. I found that series without major complex power systems are my favorite. Chainsaw Man does have a power system, but it's quite limited outside of the devils themselves. Humans just use weapons. Yeah, that's what I think. Like the big thing with power systems is that I think you need to make them. Again, every time I say stuff like this, there's exceptions to every rule. But generally speaking, I would say that a lot of the best power systems in anime and manga are the ones that are simple but flexible and can hold a lot of variety. Like you want them to be just like very easy to understand, but with room for there to be a ton of variety within that. Let's do this job. Why do people say Demon Slayer is shit? Haven't watched it, don't kill me. I mean, I wouldn't kill you for asking a question like that. There are a lot of reasons. I would break it down for you, but I have an hour-long video you could watch about it if you're curious. The short answer is that the character writing is awful, the story progression is awful, the power is awful, the power system is awful. Basically, all it has going for it is pretty animation. Like there's nothing else it does well. It relies way too heavily on pointless shit. If you want to know more, like I said, I have a video about it you could watch. Kind of like Devil Fruits. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, that's a big part of why I love Devil Fruits so much. Again, they're super straightforward, super easy to understand, and there's a ton of variety. There's a ton of variety and flexibility within that system. If you want to write a power system, remember to explore before you expand. I think, like, the best thing you could do for a power system is to write it in a way that it doesn't have to be explained, that it's, like, very easy to follow without explanation, but that explanation will, I don't know, flesh it out more, I would say. You shouldn't. You should be able to just show people how your power system works. You shouldn't have to explain it to them. There was a lot of stuff about like hockey that we understood before it was properly explained. We didn't need to be told how a lot of the stuff, how a lot of the particulars worked. In Jack Vance, the Dying Earth series, the one that inspired D&D's magic system, there is said to be 1 out of 26 spells in the whole world, and you only see like 5 in the first book. Just think through the implication. That's interesting. Everyone brings up HXX. I don't know anything about HXX. I can't comment on it. How dare you say the Demon Slayer is the anime equivalent to the game? The Order in 1886 where the visuals are far more important than any substance in the game. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that. I sometimes think that hockey is just an ass pull to counter Devil Fruits, but I just think that. Yeah, I would say that's more of a think than a no. Oda spent a lot... I will say, like, I definitely think Oda rode himself into a corner with Logia and needed to figure a way out of it, but I think he spent more than enough time, you know, foreshadowing it and building it up before properly introducing it that it can't really be considered an ass pull. Like, he knew he had an issue, and he definitely took the time to solve it. It didn't come out of nowhere. I like Gear 5th best. I think it's just, I love Gear 5th so much. It's just like, when it was revealed, it just made so much sense. It was like, yes, of course this is what would happen. Of course this is like Luffy's fucking ultimate power-up. That makes perfect sense. That's perfect for him. It's just, it's a power that's perfect for Luffy and nobody else. Like, it's one of those things that just, it feels so right because it works so well for Luffy specifically. It wouldn't work for other characters. It wouldn't work for other anime. It's just, it's so specific to Luffy. I love it so much. Too bad the different Fruit Awakenings are a bit murky in how they work. Same with Advanced Haki, it's hard to write when building off something that already has everything it needs. Yeah, so I've talked about this before, like, you know, that's the caveat to One Piece power system. I think One Piece's power system is excellent until you start getting into these later stage stuff. The advanced Haki has really muddied the waters, and like Oda has not done a great job handling that. I think Awakenings are fine. The only problem I have with Awakenings is that it's difficult to predict them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like generally I think it's, you know, it's good for you as a reader to have an understanding of the capabilities of something. And with Awakenings, like they're so different across the different powers that it's like you can't really anticipate how an awakening will work before you see it. So I'd rather have a character with one power who is explored in detail rather than one with 15 powers which are deep as a puddle. I agree with that. Gear Second would have been my answer. Well, yeah, Gear Second probably would have been my answer before Gear Fifth came out, but I love Gear Fifth. I love seeing it. So do the samurai have flying devil fruits or powers? Because in the fight with Kaido, they were flying. No. So that is what we like to call Toei being on their shit. I don't know if you've watched my video on Adaptations Inc. Or it's titled right now, Why One Piece Needs a Remake. But I would recommend watching that if you're curious. Basically, the samurai don't fly. That's only something they do in the anime. That's something the anime invented for visual intrigue rather than sticking to what the manga actually fucking shows. Hey, Mats again. Sorry, I'm on a rant right now. The samurai don't fly. That's not a thing. It's something Toei made up. Don't know much about Awakenings, but if they aren't just used as an asshole for a fight, let's make it more interesting than hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oda doesn't really, I personally disagree with the sentiment that Oda does assholes just in general. Like I think he does a very good job setting things up and showing why they work the way they do. You think Oda hates Kid? I loved Kid's intro. I think he has so much potential. I think that Oda has a very specific vision for what to do with Kid, and we have definitely that this is all part of setting that up. I think Kid is meant to be shown as kind of like the antithesis of like what would happen if Luffy wasn't the way that he is. Like Kid doesn't have allies, and Kid relies way too heavily on his devil fruit, right? Like those are two things that Luffy doesn't do. Luffy took like learning Haki very seriously, and he spends a lot of time gaining allies and gaining people that trust him and protect him and stuff like that. Like Kid is the antithesis of that. Kid is way too reliant on his power and too much of an asshole to make friends. So I think he's used in part to show how you know Luffy being the way that he is part of why he's so successful as a pirate. But also I do think that Oda has bigger plans for Kid, and that the way he's treated in the story is an important part of that. We haven't seen Logia Awakenings, Iki. I think you're talking about Zoans. Does Berserk have a power system, or Berserk doesn't really need one? It kind of has a power system, kind of doesn't. I mean, the power system is basically just people being good at fighting. There is some magic tossed into it later in the series, but. What's your favorite devil fruit type? Mine is Logia. I like Paramecias. I really like the variety and seeing all the different kinds that there are and seeing the different ways they interact. Logias are like very straightforward in that, like, oh, it's an element and that's it. You are that element. And Zoan's the same thing. It's like you are that animal. And it's interesting to see once you introduce stuff like the ancient Zoans and mythical Zoans and stuff like that, but I think Paramecias are the most fun. My friend was uninterested in One Piece, then one day he texted and said, "This shit is leftist." What? I'm glad you're just in the middle of a rant. When I joined the stream, you looked like a depressed trucker without country music. Also, you aren't signaling to change lanes. Are you trying to kill people? Well, I don't have a button on my controller to signal. And also, I kind of have a resting depressed face, so if you ever see me looking depressed, it probably means nothing. I'm probably just reading chat. I hadn't thought about it before, but out of all the Logia devil fruits, which one is the weakest? I don't know. Appreciate you, bro. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Sleep well. And there's a partiality between Law and Kid. One gets the entire 2 arcs plus light novel. One gets backstory in an SBS. I mean, you know, it just depends on what Oda wants to do with them in the story. Clearly, Oda has plans for, like, Law as an ally for Luffy and has taken the time to set that up. Whereas Kid, not so much. I very much doubt, like, there's going to be, like, a Kid rescue arc or whatever for One Piece. So, you know, it just... I think... Contrary to popular belief, Oda does a very good job of only expanding on the things that he needs to. You know, people talk about before, have talked about before. Yo, Matsugen, gifting 5 channel memberships. That's fucking awesome. Thanks, Matsugen. You're a legend. That's super sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Matt, chat makes me depressed. Wow, thanks, Matt. That's not what I meant. It's not what I meant. It's just when I'm reading chat, I get focused, and then my face goes like, you know, because I'm reading. That's all I meant. It's my resting depressed face. Back to what I was saying, I think Oda does a really good job of only showing the things that he needs to. So, you know, people always talk about how they were disappointed that Kaido didn't get a very extensive backstory. Lots again. Thank you for the $2. That's super sweet of you. But Kaido didn't need a backstory. Kaido's a very straightforward character. He's a dude that likes to fight. He didn't have like some grand dream like a lot of other characters. He didn't have grand machinations like Doflamingo. He was just a dude who liked to fuck shit up. He didn't need a backstory, and so Oda didn't really give him one. People reading One Piece tend to want Oda to expand on things that don't need to be expanded on. The fact that Haki is just taking over Devil Fruits with how it's described as needed to be the best. This thing I love is I like Devil Fruits more, and you're right. Zoans, my bad. Fuck. I wasn't paying attention to the road. I think Oda has done a really good job of making Haki a counter to Devil Fruits so that people who don't use Devil Fruits can stay relevant to the story as people get more powerful, while also allowing Devil Fruits to still be important and still fight against Haki. But that's just my opinion. Nice save. Thank you. Once again, you're too kind today. I really appreciate that. You're a legend. I like Show Don't Tell with the exception of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think there can be a balance to it. I think Show Don't Tell is what you should aim for. But, you know, there's always room for explanation. It's not like explaining stuff is a bad thing. But like I said earlier, I think that ideally your readers should be able to infer things by what you show them rather than requiring an explanation. You know, when you explain it to your readers, it should be like, oh, that makes sense. That's exactly what I already thought. Do you think Dragon Ball will just be sitting on his ass until the end of the arc? Because recent chapters have dropped his stock to the ground. Well, I mean, considering Toriyama just died, I don't know. I don't think that any of us can predict what's going to happen next with Dragon Ball. I don't know if you heard about that or not, Soham, but Toriyama passed away. Mac, what do you think is a really good manga, can be any genre, that not a lot of people bring up? I always talk about Dandadan. Dandadan, like, I feel like everybody who reads Dandadan loves it. I have seen some people not like it, but I feel like tons of people that read Dandadan are like, this is the shit, but like, not a lot of people are talking about it. When the anime comes out in fall, I think it is, I think Dandadan's gonna be super popular. Oh, Dragon from One Piece. I'm sorry. I don't know why I inserted the word Dragon Ball. Sorry, Soham. I don't know why I said... I read that and I just invented the word ball. You didn't put Dragon Ball in your chat message, but I read it as Dragon Ball. I don't know why I did that. Again, with Dragon, I feel like Oda has plans for him, and you know... Dragons just hasn't made his move yet, so to speak. Does Mac have dyslexic? No, well, I mean, you guys got to cut me some slack here, because, like, I have to balance, like, paying attention to the game, paying attention to the road, while also reading chat. So when I'm reading chat messages, I'm using, like, flitting my eyes back and forth, and so I can't, like, read everything perfectly as a result. If I was just reading chat, I'd be fine, but... I'm trying. My focus is split right now. I'm doing two things. Hockey isn't bad by any means. I just love how incredibly creative Devil Fruits are, and hockey just doesn't hit the same. I would not disagree with that. I think that, you know, ultimately hockey was created to solve a problem that Oda had of, like, making sure that non-Devil Fruit characters can still stay powerful in the context of Devil Fruits, and I think it does a good job of pulling that off, but I think Oda could have not included hockey if he'd written it differently, but ultimately I like hockey, so I don't really care. Do you think the Fullbring arc ends up weakening Bleach as a whole? I don't know. I guess I don't enjoy it that much, but I don't think it's all that bad either. Bleach is to me, I think Bleach is just kind of weak in general. There's not a ton that I like about Bleach. Like I said before, I think that the final arc of Bleach is stronger than Bleach as a whole. If Bleach was just its final story arc with some, you know, adjustments to make it all make sense, I think it would be stronger than Bleach as a whole. Power system at the end of the day should enhance the story. A bad power system is one that is just there because it's cool. Oh, you talking about Demon Slayer? Crazy. I think that ideally a power system should become a part of the story in some way. You know, it should be an aspect of the narrative rather than just being there because cool. People love to have those conversations, Inc., where they're like, which character from which anime is stronger than the other? And it's a stupid conversation to have because, you know, strength in different universes is different. Like, why the fuck are you trying to compare Luffy and Goku? Like, the scale of power in those universes is completely different. Why are you trying to compare Makima and Gojo? Like, their power systems are completely different. Their strength within their own universe is completely different. It's a pointless thing to do. I don't understand it. So his character is Excalibur from the Soul Eater. I mean, that's just real. There's like some of those conversations that can be kind of fun. Mack, Luffy and Goku had a crossover though. It's in the same universe now. That's not canon. That was just some Toei schlock because they own both IPs. I think like occasionally those conversations can be kind of fun when it comes to like the ridiculousness of it. Like I like the conversation of like, could Saitama beat Luffy? Because like Saitama's super powerful, but Luffy doesn't take blunt damage. But would Saitama's punch be powerful enough that it would override Luffy's blunt damage immunity? Like, you know, Saitama don't know Haki. He can't rely on that. But generally, it's a very stupid conversation. Someone did say Gojo Remu. We were talking about how Gojo is gay and I'm hotter than him. Because my dad can beat up your dad mentality is ingrained into people. I guess so. The whole like power scaling mindset is really goofy. Like it's sure it fits for some series, but like when people try to do power scaling in One Piece, it's like, what's wrong with you? That's why did the game just alt tab? Like Oda has repeatedly shown over and over and over again that power scaling in One Piece is a fucking pointless thing to do. And yet people force it anyway. God, the terminology people have come up with for One Piece power scaling is wild, man. You guys ever hear the term YC1? That means first Yonko commander. That's a One Piece power scaling term where they're comparing the strength of characters to the power of the first commander of a Yonko, King or Katakuri or Zoro. It's like, dude, they're all fucking different strength levels. It's not the same. What are you doing? There are people who take power scaling so seriously. And I laugh at them for being goofy motherfuckers. Who has the best character development for me? I think it was Endeavor from MHA. Are we talking about like best character development ever or character development in My Hero Academia specifically? Because sure, Endeavor's really good in My Hero Academia, but I don't think he stacks up to Thorfinn or Berserk or Guts. Those are much more character-driven stories. And the character rating of those characters is fucking excellent. Like, it's so crazy to me that people in the One Piece community talk about Yonko or YC1 level as if they're equal. When One Piece is, again, repeatedly shown that that strength scaling like that is fucking pointless. Like, you can't... It depends on the skill set of the person. It depends on how their powers might stack up when it comes to devil fruits. Some people in certain positions are just stronger than others. Like, Oda always shows that kind of thing. You think Buggy being a Yonko is a fucking coincidence? You want to talk about Yonko level? Buggy claps the cheeks of every other Yonko. It's not even a contest. Buggy no-diffs everybody in the universe. Buggy being where he's at is Big King from One Punch Man energy. I feel like Oda has some big plans for Buggy. If Guts and Thorfinn threw hands, who would win in your opinion? I think that Thorfinn would very easily be able to talk Guts down out of a fight, and they wouldn't fight. They would instead come to some amicable agreement on whatever their disagreement was. I don't like Enel personally. Like, Enel was fine as a villain. I don't really get why everyone wants him to come back. It's like, he was okay. I don't have any strong feelings about him becoming a part of the story again. They would kiss. Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right, Matsugen. You're exactly right. Which, again, is a big part of Oda showing us that power scaling is fucking pointless because there's so many different variables to succeeding in that world and being strong in that world. Authors don't write with power scaling at their forefront. Power scalers don't understand that. Authors drawing an explosion to a certain size was for the coolness and not for the physics needed. Yeah, absolutely. Sloppy Thorfinn and Guts kiss. 8 pizzas. Why did you cook so many pizzas, Silence? Welcome to the stream. We're glad to have you. Thoughts on Shigaraki? I mean, he's fine. He serves his purpose. I don't really have a strong feeling on anything MHA related. Hopefully I can still rest here even though this truck is here. Piss. Okay, looks like they have another part of the lot that I can use though. Oh my god, my insides are exploding. Fuck. Why I haven't eaten or drank anything? Why am I exploding? There's a bunch of really loud people over here and I got asked to make pizza and it destroyed me. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure the pizza's really good though. I think we need more Kings and Buggies in Modern Age Shonen. We need more authors to like go out of their way to show us the power scaling is stupid. And I think a lot of authors do a really good job of it and the viewers are just brain dead and insert power scaling anyway. I also made cookies, so I've done 6 hours of cooking today. Wow! I'm sorry you're so tired, but I'm sure the food is good. I gotta go grab my thing. I'll be right back. Hi, Luna. New power scaling question, who bakes the best? It's a good question, man. I was so sad that Thorfinn and Canute didn't kiss. I'm putting away the wheel. I'm deconstructing the driving apparatus. Everyone loves the cat. Luna, the people are looking for you. Do you want to be cute, or do you want to just sit there like a lazy bones? You probably just sit there, right? Oh, big girl. You can't more wheel. No. Your boy's gotta get some food soon. I'll stay here for a couple more minutes, but I'm gonna put the wheel away and then we'll just chat. Listen, the truck driving streams are just chatting with more steps. Nothing's really changed. The only difference is I'm not driving anymore. Nice hair, bro. You look scrumptious. Thanks, Pedro. Luna looks like a 2-pound Temi rug. I don't know what that means, but sure. Meme portraits to the top left. Yeah, you like those? Pretty nice, right? Kind of funny. But my attention span, no. Sorry, guys. I'll make sure to put some Subway Surfers on for you. I know you can't really watch things if there aren't constant shit going on. When are they going to start putting Subway Surfers in more anime? For real. Okay, the wheel has been deconstructed. It's going great, Unmatched. Going great. One of the old gimmicks of Pokemon besides Megas were Strong Style and Agile Style in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I didn't even know about that one. I mean, if you guys want some like visual stimulation, I can do some Sudoku. Since I'm very into that right now. We need a Luna cam. I'll get like a cheap webcam that I can plug in to show Luna or something. Give us some mahjong. No! I don't understand mahjong. It's confusing. It makes my head hurt. Skill issue. Fine, whatever. I'll take it. Thoughts on Fairy Tail? I've tried to read it before, but I couldn't really get into it. No, we're not doing a mahjong stream. I'm never doing a mahjong stream. You fucking stupid. Fuck is mahjong? It's a tabletop game. Why not? Because the game's confusing and I don't understand it. Do it for an accordion. No! I refuse! Want to read stupid movie reviews again? Not really. Anyone seen the new Dune movie? Okay, I'll I was talking to a friend, and we're talking about doing a movie night to watch the first part of Dune and then going to the theater to watch the second part. Okay. I'm gonna do some Sudoku while I chat. I realize you only play games where we can't backseat. Yes, I hate backseating. It drives me crazy. I avoid backseat heavy games like the plague because I hate it. It drives me nuts. Sorry if that bothers you. Don't mean to upset you with that. You have to change the stream title. No, I'm too lazy. We want mahjong. I'm gonna backseat the hell out of Sudoku. Watch me backseat Sudoku. See, I would never legitimately do a Sudoku stream because it would be super backseat heavy. The thing about playing puzzle games on stream is that if you don't immediately solve the puzzle, then people will start asking if you want hints or start making fun of you for not immediately solving the puzzle. It's fucking annoying, which is why I don't play puzzle games on stream. What happens in the most popular anime the next season is mahjong and you're forced to review it? Not gonna lie, I have no idea how to play Sudoku. Okay, so here's how it works. You have a 3x3 grid. Each 3x3 quadrant within that 3x3 grid needs to have the numbers 1 through 9 in it. However, those numbers can't overlap. So if we look at the number 2 here, there's a 2 in this row, there's a 2 in this row, and there's a 2 in this row. You couldn't put a 2 in the same row. And as I fill this in down here, you'll notice I put notes for 2s down here. These are the 2 locations that a 2 could be in this square, because there's already a 2 on this row, and a 2 on this row, and a 2 on this column. So there can only be a 2 in one of these 2 squares. However, I don't know which square it'll be, because I don't know where the 2 goes in this column yet. It would be one of these. No, I do actually. 2 would go here, so 2 goes here. So now none of the 2s are overlapping. There's only 1 2 per every row and column. And you just fill in numbers until you complete them all. Way too confusing. It's very simple. It's actually a very simple game. Look, so we have a 6 in this row, so there can't be another 6 in this row in this box. There's a 6 in this row, so there can't be a 6 here. There's a 6 in both of these columns, so in this box, the only place the 6 can go is right here. There, now I've solved all the 6s. It's like Minesweeper with extra steps. It's very different from Minesweeper. This makes my teeth hurt. What do you mean it makes your teeth hurt? What the fuck is going on? It's a game about sussing out the location of numbers using logic and your brains. Naruto, pretend like you know what's happening to you. Guys, it's not that hard. I feel like you're trolling me. I think you guys are trolling me by pretending you're confused by this. It's very simple. You need the numbers 1 through 9 in each box, and they can't overlap on the rows or columns. Okay? That's all it is. It's very easy. I'm not, but it does make my teeth itchy. Why is Sudoku making your teeth itchy? I don't understand. Oh, I accidentally filled that one. I was supposed to leave a note, but cool. That was the right spot. See you some other stream. Appreciate your sub, Zaris. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked the stream, make sure you do. My dad has a 15 streak on hard mode in Sudoku. I've worked up to being able to do hard. I'm doing medium right now, but I worked up to being able to do hard. Expert was like a bit much for me. Expert was like fucking me up. Sudoku is fun. Sudoku is very addicting. I enjoy it quite a bit. But I would never legitimately play it on stream because you guys would just be the fucking worst. I mean, people who know how the game works at least would be the fucking worst about it. I didn't immediately solve it. It took me 40 minutes to complete a hard puzzle with help because I was slacking, Lamau. Which anime character would lose the most money in crypto? Who would have the best 401k? Okay, so Robin from One Piece, I think, would have the best 401k. Frankie would lose all his money in crypto because he would dump all his money into it while it was high and then lose all of it. Look, now we filled out this square entirely. There's a 1 through 9 and it doesn't overlap with any of the other numbers. I'm gonna say if chat is being honest, not many would be able to backseat. Yeah, I didn't expect so many people in this chat to be so confused by Sudoku. that was not something I was anticipating. Finish off the damn column, Mac. Shut the fuck up. Would you ever make a Nuzlocke stream? When I streamed, what's the word I'm looking for? When I streamed Sword and Shield, I was doing it as a blinds Nuzlocke, and it took me it took me 3 gyms before I lost a Pokemon. So I stopped playing it because I was like, this is brain dead. When do we yell Yahtzee? Fucking crushing this one. There you go. Three columns completed. 4 in the column, please. It's bugging me. So this is why I would never play this on stream. If you like my brain cooking over here, I'm just here for the trucking simulator to see if it's realistic to actual trucking. As an actual trucker, I'm curious. Well, you kind of missed the trucking part of the stream. I was trucking for 3 hours, and then I'm kind of wrapping up the stream here. So, sorry. This truck looks wild. Hey, Danny. Why don't you guys shut the fuck up? Let me cook. When do we say checkmate? You guys, you're so funny. You're so silly with your fucking stupid idiocy. You're so precious with your dumb fucking brains. Lacking knowledge in how to play the game. So fucking cute how fucking stupid you are. Appreciate you, MZ Core. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Lacking in knowledge and bitches. Sorry, I was feeling elitist, so the French accent came out. You know how it goes. The French breeds elitism. That was French? No, it wasn't. It was not at all. It was actually probably closer to something like Scottish, but most of the accents I do are just bullshit. Like, I'm not trying to match anything in particular. It's just me making a sound. Makes me panic more than real traffic. If you guys get annoying, I'm going to kill all of you. Just saying that. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm out. See you next stream. Appreciate you, Inc. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. You're a legend. I don't want to die. I'm seeing a cute lack of forest. Yeah, there's not a lot of forest for me to work with, so it's hard for me to figure out where they need to go. Is that a promise? When the notification system, I literally just got to the stream notif. Sorry, Julian. You'll have to catch the trucking VOD. Here, I'll put, here's what I'll do. I'll put, oh, I don't know why the screen got all blurred. I'll put one of my truck stream VODs in the corner while I do this. Let's find an old one. Where's the fucking American Truck Simulator playlist? I'm gonna search. There it is, found it. To me. Those of you that weren't on the Patreon live stream yesterday, have you missed me? Or were you better off without me? And the real question, have you liked the goddamn stream? Because if not, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do with you? Hi, Luna. What are you doing? There's a cat moving across my desk. Hi. Bill, Double G, Skippy. Here you go. Now I don't have to provide content anymore. Base Dad Dub's variety channel. Can you put a secondary truck stream bot in the corner just in case we get bored of that one? Great stream till now. What until I arrived? Stream till now. What until I arrived? Now I ought to be able to. Arcana Pro, how you doing? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. It's been a couple weeks. Didn't stream for a couple. Imagine a manga where people decide world laws by playing Sudoku in the shortest amount of time. Let's truck, motherfucker. I was trying to. You know, I can see a Sudoku manga being a thing. It might already be. It's probably already a thing. When do the hot takes start? As soon as you got them, baby. Just tell us what you're thinking, man. You know, let me skip to a part where I'm actually trucking. From an area. There you go, Julian. In my opinion. What will you do in Trump nukes the states that you live in? What I do like about Elden Ring is this like extremely fleshed out world that they've built that you get to explore. Probably. I think that's fantastic. I do think that's really cool. But in terms of like gameplay, I don't think it enhances that experience much at all. Such reaction content. Well, you know, the goal of any streamer is to eliminate the need to stream. Way too much emptiness for the so to feel good. If we can do that. They didn't do a good job of making it clear that I'm happy. Where you, like, are what do you think of Trump? I am not getting political on this stream. There's all these pockets of areas where you can like easily end up in an area you're like too low level for. Like you can go down to you had respect for me, Iki? There was respect that I had to lose? That's fucking crazy, dude. Or you can take a trap chest and get sent all the way to Leyendell. And you find these enemies that just kick your fucking ass, and it's so disheartening to find like a really cool area that looks really fun to explore, but you're just sitting there like everything here one-shots me, and I'm not having a good time. So that's one problem, I think. They didn't do a good job of helping the player to understand where they should and should not be. Where are you driving? We're headed to somewhere in Washington. Kentworth, I believe. Kentworth, Washington. I got some fertilizer in my trunk. I got some dump in my trunk. We taking all the way to Washington. Let's make an AI have Mac. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way, and I appreciate that. When did you get your cool anime hair, Mr. Mackerel? I was born with it. Like in Gothic games could help Elden Ring. What Gothic games are you referring to? You're smart to be a trucker. Got to have the real Unga Bunga brain to survive out there, lol. You're too smart to be a trucker. Well, I'm not actually studying for my CDL test. I've never played that was just a joke title, but thank you, I guess. I have a lot of respect for truckers. They have super difficult jobs and like do not get the like respect that they deserve at all, I don't think. I will play it, but I don't really know whether or not I'll enjoy it. I might just have to make a guess here. There's not a lot of other. I also think Elden Ring has the best lore besides Bloodborne. I would agree with that too. There's not a lot of It's fascinating and interesting. Blocks here that I think I can suss out. I do not own a single one. I could get one. I should get one probably. What are all the options for this? Oh shit! What's going on here? Oh, it's a stop sign. That's what. Demon Souls as a world was my favorite, but Bloodborne seemed the most realized. The only problem I have with Bloodborne's world is just how samey it all feels. Man, I sure repeat the same shit a lot, don't I? When they ban anime, you go full on Teddy K. What is that? Who's Teddy K? That's why Canehurst is one of my favorite areas of that game, because it's the only fucking area of the game that you aren't walking around Victorian-ass streets. I feel like there was a way to keep that Victorian aesthetic without making everything look exactly the same. Okay, I think I can figure out where the 3 goes in this in this box, maybe. You know what I mean. Where am I at on gas and sleep? I'm good for a while. Do you play indie games? My fave is Night in the Woods. I have not played Night in the Woods. I do play a lot of indie games. One can only go in this block. Okay, so here we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. There we go. I sussed one out. I've been playing a lot of Dead Cells since the Castlevania DLC dropped. 3 can't go here, can't go there. It's 3 goes here, which means that 4 goes here and 5 goes here. There we go. I don't know. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I feel like no, I don't want hints. The problem is that the open world. Matt, can I beat that game? Even I can beat that game. What are you talking about? Are you talking about something I said in the truck stream? Because I'm not paying attention to that. I haven't played Blasphemous, no. That as soon as you find something like the CO4 Riverwell, or you find, you know, Caelid, the first thing you want to do is go explore that place, because it's something different. It's something you haven't seen before, and you've been looking at the same stuff all day. But then you're too low level for it. So the solution to that, I think, is to make more of those open areas, but make them smaller, so you're not stuck in the same one for super long. Finally, Desert Bus. Yeah! Welcome back, Khan. You finally made it to a this Sudoku game. I mean, I'm gonna beat it too. Just give me a minute. This is why, this is why I do not play puzzle games on stream. Just so you guys know. This is why I don't play puzzle games on stream. Is it possible for the truck devs to make USA and Euro truck compatibility, like going from Las Vegas to Berlin? Let's see what can go in this spot. If they ever get to a point that they complete the entire map 1 can't, of the US, 2 can't, 3 can't. But they've got a lot of the US left to fill. 4 can't. 5 can. 6 can't. 7 can't. Josh Strike made a video talking about the mechanics of Armored Core. 8 can. 9 can. So 5 or 8. Like I said, I haven't played a ton of mecha games. I'm gonna end stream as soon as I'm done with this. By the way, so it's just gonna be fucking low energy. Me watching my own stream and solving a Sudoku puzzle. Tried playing Strike Force Heroes. I have never heard of that. Oh god. You played a Hollow Knight. The lore of the game is so neat and very similar to the FromSoft games and how they flesh out the world. I have not played Hollow Knight yet. I intend to eventually. Who watches Big Tug? What the hell is that? Big Tug these nuts. Sometimes they are. I really liked Satisfactory, but then I really didn't like Dyson. We actually do get a lot of respect to an annoying degree. I pretty much dress casual to blend in the truck stop so I don't get bothered. That's interesting. Yeah, they've I feel like in terms of pay and benefits, at the very least, there's not enough Nevada and awareness of the shit that truckers have to deal with. But what do I know? DLC, they've got all of this, and while it obviously isn't one to one, I only know about what I read about. While it isn't one to one, there's it takes a long, if you're driving from finish this so I can leave. There's nothing stopping you from leaving. 2-3 hours of playing the game. By the way, Julian, I think you're super behind on the VOD because you keep responding to stuff that I say way after I say it. So you might want to refresh. Fuck, my eye is stinging right now. I don't know why. Kennewick. Come on, get rid of the. There we go. The insight that Thorfinn must build more than he destroyed, even if he stopped killing, it made me think of my protagonist should stop her pursuit of revenge in the end, but do more, helping the harmed. I think it's a great way to. Here's the thing: if you're gonna write a character, what if something funny happens? I gotta know. Their own actions. I think that's important, and they need to find ways to make up for the wrong that they did. I hate when we have shonen protagonists that just seem to be completely ignorant of their own actions. What did you eat today? I had a peanut butter Nutella sandwich and chips. That's been it so far. I'm drinking some chalky milky now. Happy with the new video results. I am very pleased with the new video results. I am blown away by how many What video was I talking
It has
about?
managed to get in such a short period of time. It is actually insane. I hope it'll keep pushing. I hope it won't like drop off suddenly and
Probably Demon Slayer. It sounds like I'm talking about the Demon Slayer video.
traction. See, the nice thing about my long form videos is that they tend to get views for a few months. Like the Chainsaw Man and Berserk videos each got views for months at a time. So for the Vinland Saga video to do this well in the first
Who's
like, 2
Max?
weeks, the hope is that it'll keep doing well over the next few months.
I don't know who
A
Max
lot
is.
of views. That would make me really happy. You watched
I am not
Parasite?
reading that eye. I don't know what that says, but
Things in that anime? I have not seen that. I think I've heard of it. Yeah, like Goku 100% killed thousands of people. Oh, for sure. For sure. You read Jujutsu Kaisen? Yes, I really enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's one of the best like combat-oriented manga out there. In terms of like character writing, it's
I have
pretty
so
weak.
much
It's not the
consistency
worst
in
the
my
world,
opinions.
but it can be pretty weak. But from like from the flow of combat, from like understanding what's going on, that artist does an incredible job of conveying what's happening. So glad you made that video. Now I don't have to read the manga. Nice. I'll do my part and recommend to friends. I appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. Very deserved success. Thank you guys. Everyone should watch the vid at least three times. Hot takes, maps that aren't one-to-one reality infuriate me. I don't think that's realistic. I do think, I've talked about this before, I think it'd be really cool if they made like a road trip game and took the technology from Microsoft Flight Simulator, where it was like using Street View and Google Maps to build a map for you to drive through. I would love that so much. I would play
Just yapping
that game
on
for
God.
thousands of hours because I love games where I just drive around.
Running off potato
I
tablet and
love
slow
that.
chicken
I
pickers.
spent so many hours
Okay.
in this game,
Sorry, dude.
but I would fucking love a game.
You guys are welcome. I'm recycling content while not being entertaining.
Google Maps, even if it looks a bit goofy.
Isn't this what you wanted? I'm not gonna live stream anymore. I'm just gonna stream my old VODs. I have enough of them that I can recycle them for a couple years.
Inosuke is kind of funny. One
Can we watch the VOD 2 times today and I got work to do? Okay, fine. Shit, I just skipped way ahead. Whatever.
Excuse me, truck. Fuck. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
I skipped to a good spot.
I fucking killed that man. Hey. I'm gonna drive. There's a fire truck. The fire truck will save me. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm not giving a shit on my insurance. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was their fault. They made an illegal turn. Fuck. Fuck. Is anyone telling me I gotta run this stoplight? I gotta run this stoplight. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. I just took a father away from his parents. I just took a father away from his children. A son away from his parents. No one saw it. No one saw it. Matt confirmed felon. Well, we knew that. We knew that before this. This is unrelated to that. Shut up, Storenda. You aren't real. None of you are real. You're all AI generated to torment me. We've been over this. No one who watches my streams is real.
That's true. Fuck, that was wrong.
If this pile of corpses will lead to the completion of my dream, then I will happily stand upon it.
No, it's gotta go here
Good time
then.
to bring that up. No, I do not.
What? How does it not go there? Okay, good go here too. Third time's the charm.
That's right. When you feel my hand on your ankles and you step in the bed, that's not really either, right? No. No. It's all fake. AI generated touch sensation.
Wait, what the fuck?
I feel the same about Attack on Titan.
You have a limited number of mistakes you can make?
Attack on Titan hasn't already been said.
Why did I
It's
put
not
an 8
very
here? There's already an 8 in this
is,
box.
But there's not really a lot of ways to interpret it, I don't think. I prefer to focus on manga that I can add myself into, so to speak, by, you know, I prefer to talk about manga where I can offer some form of interpretation of what the fuck is going on. And I feel like with Attack on Titan, there's really only a couple ways to interpret it. James Summerton and several good videos on Attack on Titan. No recommending other content creators in my chat. That's fucked up. That's my fault. Let us go. Yeah, you're right. It was my fault. That's why I'm getting out of here.
I agree with myself. I agree with past
I
me.
don't know what you're asking me.
Past me has some good opinions out there.
One Piece interpretation? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, there's a lot that I can say about One Piece, I think. Manga or anime and why? It's not a one or the other thing, I don't think. It depends on the manga or anime. When it comes to something like Demon Slayer, you're probably better off reading the anime because the manga lacks good combat direction or good art direction. But when it comes to something like One Punch Man, like, I would implore you to read the manga because Yusuke, or Yusuke? Murata? Is that his name? His name is Yusuke. I can't remember his first name. Murata has an absolutely incredible art style that is worth seeing and taking your time to enjoy. One Piece anime sucks. 100% agree. I will forever stand that One Piece, the animated adaptation of One Piece is terrible, and you are far better off reading manga. That's the only YouTuber on the site. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely true.
It just accentuates the mental breakdown massively.
He made an illegal turn. He made an illegal turn. And really, YouTube was created by AI to give Mack a platform. They were all created to give me a challenge. But it isn't enough.
Why does Mack?
It is
Why does 2 times Mack give TikTok Ben Shapiro edit vibes?
Make a video on Dragon Ball. Me making a video on Dragon Ball would be me making a bunch of enemies. Did I say reading the anime? I didn't mean to. I'm dumb. I haven't streamed in a while. There are times that you should read manga and times that you should watch an anime. There's no one or the other about it. It just depends on the series. You shouldn't watch the One Piece anime. You should read it. You shouldn't read the Demon Slayer manga. You should watch it. Did I say it again? I can't. I'm dumb. Because high level don't even try repeating One Punch Man style. And it's not something you can do in an anime.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
So if you keep talking about it, it's going to tip the police off the fact that I was there. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. I woke up. I found her. That's all I know. You reading the Korean series?
Breaking Bad references. I love Breaking Bad.
Thoughts on Dragon Ball Z? I don't like Dragon Ball. It's not for me. It is, in my opinion, very poorly written on just about every front. I do not think the action is particularly interesting. I think most people like it because it was their first exposure to that kind of content. Tower of God? Don't know anything about it. Never heard of it. Don't play the BoJack Horseman card with us.
There we go. Sudoku game completed. I'm logging off now. Can you constantly speak at 2 times speed? It's incredible. No, I can't. I can barely. I have to slow down how fast I talk because if I don't, I stutter. Why are you guys so excited that I'm ending stream? You guys don't have to watch the stream, you know. If you don't like the streams, you can just not watch them. You guys are so mean to me. You should be nicer to me. I gave you money, I'm in debt to it. Can you just get a stream where you stare at the camera and don't say anything? I've started streams like that a few times. All right, the water's empty. Bye, guys. Talk to you later. So sorry I wasted your time with additional content. Bye.